This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
For over 25 years, South Floridians have counted on Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises for their roofing needs. In South Florida, we battle the sweltering heat, rain, winds, and all kinds of tropical storms. That's why when it comes to protecting your family, home, or business, call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com. 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs. All work fully guaranteed with the customer's complete satisfaction. A-plus rated member of the Better Business Bureau. Licensed and insured. There's no buts about it. When your roof needs repair or replacement, go to TommyBButtsJrEnterprises.com. A certified widening contractor. With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help. When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys?
Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths. In South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house! Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends. When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs, led by their highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All of their previous customers have an opportunity to enter their bi-weekly drawings to receive free an exterior impact metal door. Please call for more details. That's Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411. Trust Tommy to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by Sports Grill. Good food, good drinks, good friends. Craig Zinn Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealership in the Southeast United States. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department. The FLPD is hiring. Go to FLPDjobs.com.
When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right. I have no idea if I'm being heard because I cannot hear anything whatsoever. Yeah, but that's going to be a problem because I don't hear anything. Sean, see if you could talk to me down the line because I did not hear. I'm not hearing the show. I'm not hearing anything.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I don't hear you.
Test.
No, I don't hear a damn thing.
Did the settings change on the?
I don't know what the hell to do because I'm definitely not gonna be able to do any interviews. I can talk, I can take questions, I can do a show that way, but I won't be able to do any interviews. And I just restarted the computer and everything, so I have no idea if I'm doing something wrong on the audio end. I don't hear anything still.
Test 1, test 2.
Yeah, no. This is fantastic, isn't it? Anyway, I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, no, you couldn't hear anything because I lowered the volume to talk to Sean about this silliness because I have no idea what's going on. It's just all of a sudden I just turn on the computer and I can't hear a damn thing from the computer. And so it's really weird. So it's like, it's not that I'm back, Nizzle. It has nothing to do with hearing me. I can't hear anything. The point is not me going out. The point is me receiving. I cannot hear any audio whatsoever. If I can't hear any audio, we can't do an interview with Cameron Wolf. I can't do an interview with Manny Navarro. I can't do an interview with Omar Kelly, and I can't do an interview with George Richards today. So that's the problem. So if I can't hear anything, then it's hard for me. I mean, Sean can't talk to me down the line. So it's just a weird thing right now, and I don't know what the hell is going on. And it's not like I did anything. I do see that the little Force-Grite USB is muted, but I don't know why. That's the reason why I'm not hearing anything, because that stupid thing is muted. So if that thing is muted, then I don't know how the hell am I going to be able to hear anything. Let's see. No, none of it goes away. None of it makes it go away. Huh? Yeah, I don't know what sorry, Sean, I have no idea. That's my problem. Yeah, you're telling me to do something. It when you click on it, it just says Force-Grite USB and it has a little speaker with an X. That's all. All right. Talk to me now. See what happens.
Can you hear me, yo?
Yeah, I hear you now. Wow. Thank God. All right. So I hit that little X is what it is. There. We're set. Entertaining first 7 minutes. I love it. Trying to fix the audio. I think we're good now. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see what we shall see, as they say. So maybe what I could do, I could run like a test, and I can run some drops, and if I hear the drops myself, right? And then I know, like if we're gonna, when you tap that app, you of course go to Liquor Split, right? And there you go. You should be able to hear a little. Yeah. Oh, it's working. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. It's working. Let's touch it again. Ah, yes. Yes. Did you like that?
Completely.
I thought so. All right. So there you go. So we are ready to go. The show is ready.
Sizzling.
Thank you very much. That is so kind of you. Very, very nice of you. All right. Ragin is in. Hunter is in. Jerry Coe is in. Daniel. So there you go. Y'all got some entertaining stuff here to start off. Not. By the way, I was entertained last night or yesterday afternoon. One, I saw a friend of mine I hadn't seen like in 20 years in the business, coming out of the theater, as I was going in. And, the best part about, you hear all the reviews of Top Gun. I'm not going to give you any spoilers, just so you'll know. Okay, I saw Top Gun Maverick. I'm not saying any spoilers, so you don't have to, I'm going to turn this off. I would never do something like that. That's a total D-bag move. I would never do that, okay? That's not my style anyway. But you could tell a movie's good when people are walking out and they're bragging about the movie and all that. And I overheard one other dude go, "Man, I'm glad he held it for 2 years because Tom Cruise and company." And think about the power that an actor has to have to say, no, we're holding this off for us until we could get into the theaters. I'm sure he didn't say 2 years because he didn't know how long they were going to have to wait. Maybe they thought, we'll wait 6 months or wait a year. They waited 2 years for this and still comes out, and it's a monster. It's a monster in every way. It will pull at your heart emotionally. It will tie the first Top Gun to it, perfectly also. It's seamless. It makes it's perfect. I don't want to give too much away. All right. Well written. The action is awesome. The scenes are awesome. The drama is fantastic. Just everything about it. It was well done, and then you have to enjoy it in the big screen. It's just one of those kind of movies that must be seen unless you have, like a killer, home theater system, then that's fine. But if you could go to an IMAX, a 4K, whatever, 4KD, HD, whatever the hell that thing is called, or what's the other one that they have? It's like 3 different types of big ass screens. Enjoy it in one of those, man. Enjoy it in one of those because it is really, really good movie, and just worth it. Worth it. I don't go to the movies a lot. It takes special screenings to get me out to go to the movies. My wife and my daughter go to it. In fact, yesterday I saw that thing on Regal or whatever that like you pay $21 a month and you can go to unlimited movies. Like if you're a movie buff, why the hell wouldn't you buy that ticket? $21? That's just by going to the movies twice, that thing pays for itself. Like I saw that and was like, that's ridiculous for you moviegoers. Man, that's one that you definitely should take advantage. I only go to the movies once, twice, maybe 3 times a year or something. It's got to be some kind of a superhero thing, a 007, Star Wars, this Top Gun thing. It's got to be something That's going to bring me out. Avatar probably whenever Cameron comes out with the updated Avatar, I probably will go to the theaters for that. But I'm just telling you, if you want to enjoy yourself and you want to go out and see a movie that's got drama, that's got suspense, that's got good acting, that's got action, that's well written, that just, and for you youngins out there, okay, like my daughter, watch the first one. You have to watch the first one. Okay. For those of you that have never watched the first Top Gun, please watch the first Top Gun. It is it's imperative that you watch it. You're not going to be able to tie everything together without watching the first one. Okay? That I will tell you. So if you have somebody in your party, you have a child, you have somebody from another younger generation, and they have not seen Top Gun. First of all, un-American really to not see Top Gun? I mean, the second you kind of understand language, well, there is some sexual scenes. So let's, once you get into your teens, you should be watching Top Gun. I mean, that should be one of those that needs to be, everyone should watch Top Gun. It's just a great, great movie, period. And this is the greatest sequel of all time. The greatest. Nobody's ever come up with a number 2 like this that you can challenge the number 1. Or you could just say, wow, this one blows it out of the water. That because I can go with the people that think it's better. I can go with the people that think that it's just as good. But it is phenomenal. Go watch it. Go take your favorite person, cuddle up a little, enjoy yourselves there, and just, have at it, man. So it was a lot of fun yesterday. Not going to ruin anything. Not going to tell you anything. Just going to say, go watch it. It is worth every penny. And it takes a lot of pennies to go. I was sitting there. I was looking at my wife. I was going, how many Star Atlas coins I can buy with all of this and make us some money down the line? But, I'll sacrifice. Okay. I'll sacrifice. All right. Those of us that were loading up on Star Atlas in the 0.80s and 90s under a penny, it went over a penny today. So you just, you're making some bank. The original is great. Used to watch it on VHS all the time. Well, trust me, you want to watch the new one. It's awesome. I want to see it again now. I want to go one more time to the theater. I saw it on IMAX. Now I want to watch it on the 4K HD one. I want the other screens. I want to go see it on that one now, just for the hell of it. I told my wife. So next week, maybe during the week, I'll go sneak into one of those 4K HD ones after the show and go. And by the way, that's the best time to go. It's Friday, Saturday. That you will never catch me. I don't think you'll ever catch me. It'll take a miracle. I can't say never, obviously, but we say it never. But I have no desire ever to go to a theater on a Friday or a Saturday night or a Sunday afternoon or something. I have zero desire to do that. Okay. It's what I did yesterday. 3:40 in the afternoon. You walk in at Regal Cinemas and you just say, all right, there we go. Place isn't jam-packed. Actually, it's a good crowd. I want to say it was probably like 75% full, but everybody was quiet and all that, because usually you get decent people going at that time. They're usually, Friday, Saturday nights, you get too many of the idiots. Sorry, idiots, but, some of you don't shut up. You bring the wrong kids to movie theaters. There's a certain age. You got to get to a certain age so you can bring them to the theater. You bring those tots that are just going to be screaming the entire time. Get the hell out of here, bro. What's wrong with you people? And by the way, when your kid starts like screaming, get him out of the theater. One of you has to sacrifice, bro. You brought the kid. The kid's crying. Get him out of the theater. Mom or dad, you gotta lay on the grenade. I know. Oh, you're comparing a kid to a grenade. To the rest of us, you lit off a grenade. Just want you to know, in the middle of the theater, you laid off a grenade. Where? Ah! Get him out of there. Get her out of there. One of you has got to grab the grenade and fall on it. So run the hell out of the theater and don't ruin it for the rest of us. You brought the kid. Shayna, you bought your tickets. You knew what they were getting into. I say, let them crash. For a little point and counterpoint there on Airplane. For those of you that, caught that. Since we're talking about jets and Top Gun, I figured I'd use an airplane line here for you. Okay? So you brought the kid, lay on the grenade. Get the hell out of the room. That's it. And by the way, the parent that needs to do it is the one that refused to get the sitter. So, Dad, if you're a cheap bastard, lay on the grenade. Mom, if you're the cheap bastard, lay on the grenade. And if you couldn't find the sitter, don't go to the movie theater. Wait till you get the sitter, then go to the movie theater. But don't drop the grenade in the theater. What's wrong with you people? We get it on a plane. It sucks, but we get it on a plane. But in the theater, there's a choice. Get the hell out of the theater. Loved Obi-Wan. Yes, I did. I liked both episodes. I watched it. Watched that over the weekend. Enjoyed it. Told you I would watch Goodfellas. I did. Watched Obi-Wan. Did. And then yesterday saw Top Gun Maverick, and that was a lot of fun, man. It was a lot of fun. So it was good. And for those of us, by the way, that love the original Top Gun, that's why you're also going to love this one so much. There's every reason to go see it. There's no reason not to go see it. That's all, unless they drop a grenade in there. Then yeah, that's the only time. But outside of that, So maybe that should be the thing. Should that be it right now? That's what we all should learn how to say in the theater. Kids start screaming. Everybody starts yelling, fall on the grenade. Fall on the grenade. I think that's what we all should do now in the theater. So every time a kid is screaming, you're allowed to go, yo, fall on the grenade. And that's it. And then that'll become like a thing. And then the parents will learn about the thing, fall on the grenade, which means get the kid out of the damn room. You made a decision. You got to now pay the price. You got to miss 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes of the movie because you got to walk the kid back and forth, because you got to shake something in front of its face, because you got to – no, sorry. And by the way, what are you taking a kid into an IMAX theater that's explosive? That's the other thing. My Lord. If you're taking a kid into one of the theater I was in last night, that thing is so – you got earmuffs. We go old school now. Earmuffs. You're going to have to take your kid with – have you seen kids at NASCAR races? That's exactly what you got to do. You got to buy those headsets that they use at NASCAR races for the movie theater. That's it. That's parent cruelty, by the way. If you take a baby to a theater like that yesterday, you're not a good parent, actually. Now that I think about that, I actually never even thought about it that way. You're a terrible parent if you're putting your kids' ears, babies' ears, to expose to that kind of stuff. That's disgusting, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, so you should not see a parent with a baby / a grenade inside a IMAX, What's 4K HD, and what's the third one that I'm forgetting? What's the other one? Can somebody help me out? There's like 3 of them now, right? What's the one I'm forgetting? IMAX, 4K HD, and then what's the other one? I don't even know. Is it 4K HD? Is that, am I saying it right? I don't like little kids. I just don't like them. Matt Dillon, The Outsiders. Samuel says, I binged through the Stranger Things episodes. It's a phenomenal series. Lots of suspense. My wife and daughter watch it religiously. They love Stranger Things. I have yet to get into it. All I've heard are great things about it. That's all I've heard of Stranger Things. I just haven't gotten into it yet. But I've never heard I've never heard anyone that watches Stranger Things say, not impressed, not that good. Everybody that watches it loves that damn show. So it's got to be pretty cool. The movie Airplane could never be made today. No way. Well, yeah, Airplane, Blazing Saddles. I mean, it's just, History of the World Part 1. I mean, give me a break. Excuse me while I whip this out. I mean, where are all the white women? Did you hear Star Wars Celebration, after 3 years of planning, didn't announce a single movie? Massively disappointing considering they're a movie first and foremost. Yeah, but remember, there's been a lot of COVID going on. Maybe they, were slow. And maybe they want to allow all the other stuff that they're doing with all the other storylines on the Disney platform to expand a little bit more. I don't know. We'll see. With all the stuff that Disney's giving me with Kenobi, with the Mandalorian, with dude, I'm good. And if they're going to continue to expand all these characters, there's so many of them coming. That I'm kind of good with that. You're kind of keeping me happy with all that stuff. And remember, I don't know if they have a great script for another Star Wars. So, if they have it, then great. If they don't, then it's not something you force feed either. RPX, is that it? Is that what I think? I think you might be right. RPX. I think that's the other one. Right. Dolby Digital. What, Omar, what are you? 87 years old? It's not Dolby Digital. Everything's Dolby now, right? I think RPX sounds about right. Oh, what star realistically do you see the Heat trading for in the offseason? All right, Michael. Let's we haven't gotten into any sports yet here on the program. And I do want to get into a little basketball with you. And listen, this is the decision that Pat Riley now has to make. You're kind of in a crossroads. You brought it back in 2006 and it didn't work out. Everybody came back out of shape, this, that, you ran it back with the journeyman, and you ran it back to the point that you actually re-signed them. Not only was it stupid to bring it back, because we all fell sucker to the 31-10, yours truly included, by the way. Now, I was against some of the contracts. That's for sure. Dion Waiters and Whiteside and Tyler were contracts I was like, my God, are you kidding me? But anyway, whatever. But it didn't work. So, do you bring this back? That's the question. And Riley and company have to look back and say, when has it worked that we brought it back? If it didn't work the first time, why is it going to work the second time? You know what the definition of insanity is, right? You do the same thing over and over again, like come back with Brian Flores. That would be the definition of insanity. So how do you look at this? Do you have to make the move? Or is there somebody there? We bring it back because this guy will be better, and that guy will be better, and this will turn around. And how has that worked out for you? Even when you won a championship in 06, the worst thing you did was bring those guys back. So Riley has a very interesting decision. Now, remember, folks, because I saw Barry Jackson's article, which was terrific, and he had a shit ton of players and options, but I didn't care about most of them. Most of them, to me, were like the Peanuts teacher. Wah, 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 wah. I saw 3 names, and after that, I had no business of any interest whatsoever in any of the other names. Why? Because you need a Batman or a Robin. You need a Robin to Jimmy's Batman, or you need somebody that makes Jimmy a Robin. That's the way it goes. So, question is, anybody on this team ready to be a Batman or a Robin? No. Are you willing to roll the dice that if you bring back everybody again, someone's going to turn into Robin? Because they're not going to turn into Batman. No. So now the question is, will Donovan Mitchell be disgruntled? Bradley Beal says he wants to re-sign in Washington. My God, what is wrong with that young man? But you need him to be disgruntled. Or if not, it doesn't work out. And then you have Dame Lillard, who's a little older, which is kind of the road that we always seem to end up in with that older guy. But that's another guy that you can trade for now. It's a big-ass number. $40 million. 1 year left, I believe, on that deal. You may not have to give up as much, but you have to give up quite a bit because of the salary in order to make it and accommodate it. So if you can't trade for a Batman or a Robin, what do you do if you're the Miami Heat? So do you interchange a position or two? Do you say, well, we've got to trade Duncan because we've got to accommodate, we've got to find a way to keep Caleb Martin, because you cannot allow Caleb Martin to leave. You must keep Caleb Martin. And then you've got your issues with PJ and all that. But I'll tell you something that I don't want to hear. Okay? Because I'm a little tired of hearing about it, considering you've got somebody with deep pockets. I don't want to hear about luxury tax. Maybe that's the reason why you're not getting over the top, because you're not going over the top on the luxury tax. So if you can go get your Batman or Robin, I don't want to hear about luxury tax. I don't care. Listen, they're smart not trying to go over the luxury tax, because the consecutive years, you get penalized more and more and more. So I totally understand that. And if it's a team that's not ready for a title, I wouldn't want to be penalized tax-wise just to be giving money away for teams that don't have a shot. But if you can get that Batman or Robin, you find a way to make it happen, you know? So you saw the news that Mitchell wants to be in Miami. Where, Jose? Where did you see the news that Mitchell wants to be in Miami? Who reported that? Jose? Who? Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it. But please show me who reported that, because I haven't seen that Mitchell wants to be in Miami yet. All I've heard is that, Rudy Gobert might be the guy that they want to trade, not Donovan Mitchell. So where is it? Who's reported that? I don't think it's been reported that Mitchell wants to be in Miami. That's probably Facebook news, just like one of the guys that sent me a DM with Shams Charania tagged on it. Embiid has asked out and wants to go to Miami. And he a lazy, like most of you out there, you're lazy and you don't even check to see if it's actually a real tweet. And the first thing I did was I went over to Shams' Twitter feed, and that tweet was never there. And I sent him back a text, that tweet's not even there. And of course he had no response, because you feel like a fool. I mean, it happens to all of us. We all get caught with some tweet or something that you think it was, and it's a fake account and all that. I've been fooled by it myself. But that happens. a fake Rappaport or Woj or Schefter account that you missed out that there was an extra letter in there. Oh, man. So I have not seen any official reporter report that Mitchell wants out. That I haven't seen. Big O, I was a bit disappointed in Bam's play in the playoffs. Yeah, well, of course. We did plenty of ripping of Bam in the playoffs. He is what he is already. So that's what I would tell you all out there, that he is what he is. If you're expecting Bam to change, you can forget about that. It's over. That's what he is. Don't count on him anymore to be a force on offense. Just whenever he had 2 games, that's who he is. 2 out of 7. That's who he is. That's his ratio. So he's a guy that you just, every once in a while he'll chime in. He'll have a little role on offense. You milk it for that moment, for that night, and then move on. But don't game plan for it and don't expect it. You know what? I'll be disappointed in all of you for expecting more from here on out from Bam Adebayo. We're done with that already. It's 5 years in, bro. You either have it or you don't. He's proven over and over and over again, this is what he is. And the Heat paid him on potential, and that's where they failed. Whiteside's potential, you failed. Tyler Johnson's potential, you failed. Duncan Robin's potential, you failed. Stop paying players on their potential. Pay them when they've proven it. If they haven't proven it, then don't give them the contract anymore. It has not worked out. By the time you gave Dwayne Wade a contract, you already knew he was a killer. By the time you gave Alonzo Mourning a big-ass contract, you knew he was a killer. So wait till they actually show you their colors before they become, or before you give them what you think they may become. Very important. Yeah, Bam isn't an SOB. He's a nice guy. It's not going to happen. It's over. Big O, I'm watching you on YouTube on my phone, but the whole show is not listed on YouTube on my TV. I don't know what that means. I'm not sure what that means. I'm watching you on YouTube on my phone, but the show is not listed on YouTube on my TV. Are you on YouTube TV? We're not on YouTube TV, bro. We're on regular YouTube. If you're searching for me on YouTube TV, first of all, put down the fat ass joint you got in your hand, because that's probably what it is. You're kind of high right now, and you don't realize you're searching for Big O Radio Show on YouTube TV. We're on regular YouTube, not YouTube TV. Well, it's 420 somewhere. Let's see. Couldn't back down defenders, missed close, missed shot, mid shots, and kept getting pushed around. But yeah, no, he is what he is, bro. He plays well in that role that they have him. Where we all made a mistake is that we thought he was going to take a next step to become more like a franchise player, and he's a role player. That's what he is. He's a role player. That's all. All right? There's nothing wrong with that unless you pay him max money. So there you go. Jerry Company says 305, make sure you logged on to YouTube, not your TV. Hey, you never know. You might find us on YouTube TV one day. We might get picked up by, another source that might be on the cable-oriented type of stuff. I've had that conversation, by the way. We actually had a company that was interested, but I told them, you do know that I curse every once in a while. The guest may curse. So we don't really follow FCC rules. So I really can't do this. And I don't want to be involved in anything with the FCC. So, and personally, you're the one that's going to get burned, not me, because you're carrying the programming. So they're going to go after you. And he goes, yeah, it's not a good idea. Yeah. And I go, I'm not altering my show for you. You know what I mean? The world is coming to YouTube, not going to TV. That's the thing. The world is going to platforms. They're not going to television stations anymore. That's what's dying. First, it was newspapers, right? Now it's radio stations and television. Traditional mediums of communications are the things that are falling by the wayside. And everything that becomes a platform is what grows. So that's just the way it is. All right, let's get ready. Let's switch gears. Let's talk a little football, a little NFL football with my man Cameron Wolf and our KSDT CPA Miami Dolphin and NFL report.
We unleash the Wolf Pack as we get the latest in the NFL and the Miami Dolphins with our KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL Network Insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is one of South Florida's largest and one of the country's fastest growing accounting firms. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370. Here's NFL Insider Cameron Wolf.
All righty. Speaking of dying mediums like television, did you see that the NFL Network and the NFL now, obviously, it's all the same thing. Dude, they're gonna have now their own platform for phones and iPads and all that, because we live here, bro. Here's where we live. And I thought, it's like it's about time, obviously, for the NFL, but it's so smart because it's like what I just was talking about now. You have to strengthen your platforms now because that's where people are going. They want specialized programming. They want their NFL Network. They want their NFL. They want their NBA. Now Fox Sports Florida, they've had this whole thing, this battle with the cable companies, the satellite companies, even YouTube TV that I have. So now what are they doing? On their own platform now. It's coming out. The app is going to come out. So us Marlins, Heat, and Panther fans can now go to Fox Sports Florida, buy their platform, and now we get our games constantly. We don't have to worry and fight and all of that. That's where we're going, man. You know what I mean? And I just read that story for the KSDT Sports Business Report, last week about the NFL creating their own viewing platform now. I don't know if you saw that, but that's actually a really cool idea on their part.
Yeah, it's been in the works for a while, actually. When I started at NFL Network, they were talking about doing that. And it's a great idea because, we've all kind of said, everybody's moving to their phone as mediums. Like even myself, I work for a company that's on cable and I watch most of my television on streaming apps. And it's just the way the new medium is. So I think you're either going to get in the times or you're going to get left behind. And right. So I'd love for TV to be blooming for 75 years. But the reality of it is that more people are using their social medias and their apps to be able to get this content. And so I think it's going to be dope. I think it's going to be a way to be able to bridge a gap. One thing I told my bosses that's very interesting is that, like, although I know some people watch NFL Network, I'd imagine that most of the Dolphins fans who follow me see my content when I put it on Twitter more than they saw it live on TV on NFL Network. So I'm not naive to believe that people are just going to be sitting around all day watching NFL Network on TV. And so our bosses shouldn't either. So if you want them to be able to get the content, you got to bring it to them. You got to bring it right to them and their device and make it interesting enough that they want to download your app and ideally go to you before another company to be able to get their content. So I'm pumped about it. I think we're going to do some really creative stuff with it. And I think you guys are going to love it.
Yeah, no, I know, and you're going to be able to give us more, exclusive content, stuff that we're not, and you get to elaborate a lot more when you're on your own platform. You get to, and from what I'm understanding, you guys are going to be able to like add stuff from all different cities too at the same time. Some of their what's it called, programming that they're using for the
Yep.
different teams. I'm
Yep.
sure when they're in the headlines for something, a big signing, a big trade, or whatever,
Yeah.
NFL Network will have their stuff, and then they'll go, "Hey, let's go to the Bengals who just traded for whatever," and yada yada yada. Boom, and then there'll be some exclusive interview that the Bengals had, and you guys will be able to share it on your
Yep,
platform.
you'll see some
Super
sort of
cool.
specialized team coverage. So where if
Yeah,
you're a Dolphins fan, you could put in the app, hey, I want Dolphins content, and anything Dolphins related will probably be the first thing that pops up on your feed. And so it'll be personalized in that way. And so we'll have obviously the national news. So whatever the big story of the day, Lamar Jackson size and extension, this player gets hurt, whatever it is. And then you'll also see your Dolphin centric stuff. Tua had a great day at practice. Here's the breakdown report from Cam Wolf here in Miami. Go down to LA, see what the Rams are doing. This is their report from Matthew Stafford or Aaron Donald or whatever. So it's a way for you to be able to pop in and out and get it immediately. So you can get your minute here, your minute there, your 5 minutes, and then you can leave instead of waiting around for a 3-hour show to see exactly what's going on. So I think it'll be more efficient and viewer friendly overall. So I'm looking forward to it.
yep. Yeah, I think that's a really cool thing. That's been two of my favorite stories over the last week on our KSDT Sports Business Report was that, and then the other one. I don't know if you saw this. Did you see what FIBA basketball is doing?
I did not.
LED flexible glass
Okay.
floors.
Really?
So from the entire floor is an LED glass floor that has flexibility to it. So it shocks and all that for the bones and everything, just like a regular court and all. It
Yeah.
has a little give, in other words. But the whole floor is an LED screen. So
That's
imagine the
interesting.
advertising,
Yep.
replays,
Yep.
entertainment. When you're at halftime, it'll help with the halftime show, pregame, whatever, introductions, just as sponsorships, obviously. All of these things, stats. Player could be like at the free throw line, and you're in the second level, and boom, you're going to be able to see the player stats right in the middle of the floor behind him,
That's
because
pretty
they
cool.
probably won't put it in front of him, but it'll
Right.
probably be in the middle, like, hey, this player has 37 points. He's 11 of 11 at the free throw line, whatever,
Yeah.
crap like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, highlights, all that kind of stuff.
That's dope.
So I know, isn't it? And FIBA's doing it for all of their elite tournaments and things like that, because it's kind of an introductory. I'm sure it's going to be expensive to put it, but I can see the NBA, dude.
Yeah.
They have
Absolutely.
to steal that, bro.
All these leagues are copycat leagues. So, the next thing that I think is going to happen, like you're talking
That's
about
revenue, bro. That's a revenue stream right there.
Exactly. So I've been talking about this for a little bit. Obviously, that'll be dope. But one element that I think is very soon to be coming is you're going to have sports book setups inside your seat in a stadium,
sure.
to where you can do live
Kiosks.
betting on a particular play. You could say, "Hey, I'll bet minus 250 or plus 250 that they'll score a touchdown on this drive," and
Right.
you could literally your whole game betting drive by drive, whatever is going to happen,
Quarter by quarter.
And
Yeah.
I think that's in the not so distant future. Maybe they go kiosk first. Maybe there's a kiosk set up, and then eventually I think it's going to be individual seats, and you have it there.
Yep.
So there's so much more money revenue there, and it brings in a new element of fans who may not care overall about who's going to win the game, but they care about trying to make money, betting, drive by drive, play by play.
I'll tell you what's next. You're going to make LED on the floor. Well, then you've got to make the basket LED.
Yeah.
So that way, when there's a nasty slam, the basket explodes.
Right.
It could shatter like on the LED.
Little Space Jam, little
yeah.
Nickelodeon cartoon broadcast.
Exactly. And we're living in a game in a gaming world, right? In the metaverse and all that kind of shit. So young people, all of a sudden now you're making it more like a video game. So you're able, when you walk in, like, holy shit, the floors, got all kinds of colors and dynamics. And now the backboards are exploding and they got messages and all that. And again, it'll be another revenue stream. You know what I mean? So it'll be the KSDT slam dunk.
Yeah.
Bam, and right after the guy slams, the replay plays right on the backboard again, that kind of stuff.
No, I like it. I like it.
Yeah. No, and think about this. You have an LED floor,
and
it'll get to a point where it's so cheap that you're at the university, which, Alabama and Michigan and Miami, all these places are going to be able to afford it. So now the basketball team walks off the court. Now you reprogram and it all gets redone for volleyball.
Yeah.
You don't have to restripe it. You don't have to have multiple stripes anymore on the floor. No. It's a blank canvas. Boom, redone. Oh, you want tennis? Boom. Whatever it is, that kind of stuff. So there's so much that they can do with that. I think that's going to be really, really cool. Actually.
Yeah, I think like you're going to see everything evolve. Like I said, you're either going to get with the times or get behind. So I think sports and the viewing experience 3 years from now is going to be completely different than what it is now. And I think that's good for us as fans as we sort of get into this hyperactive phase where we need to have everything and technology sound, have everything kind of brought to us, whether it be the stats, whether it be the gambling odds, whether it be everything that kind of makes us enjoy sports, fantasy football elements. There's going to be, segments here where, hey, this guy, these are your leading fantasy football scorers of the day. And, you can probably program, I bet you'll be able to do certain things where you can program your fantasy football team in and on your TV and be able to get an updated app, pretty minute by minute of what your stats are doing while you're watching the game. So if you're watching at home, maybe you're watching Red Zone, you can pull up the tab on the side. So you don't even have to pull it out on your phone. You can do it all there.
Exactly.
I can see all of this. The LED spotlight makes the viewing experience better for the fans who are there to be able to see it and pop things up. Maybe there's a little TV screen in front of them that gives them a little bit more in depth that they want to go into it and find different elements of it. So we're going to get to the point where it may be too much, but I enjoy that we're continuing to modernize our viewing experience as fans because I think that keeps the sport energetic and vibrant and overall just positive. And so I'm with it, and I don't think that anybody would disagree.
They have no choice.
They
have no choice, bro. They have no choice. That's why Stephen Ross and obviously Garfinkel, who's a freaking monster, he's the Kraken of all this.
Yep.
He has made that damn stadium like your home experience,
right?
And they have to do that. They have no choice. Look at what we do on this platform. We give you hardcore insiders all week long. So if you're a Heat, a Dolphins, a Canes fan, Marlins fan, you're going to get your segments every week and whatever rants or whatever. And they're all individually cut up so you can get it a la carte. And very few commercials here because the commercials are right around us the entire time. It's kind of like soccer. We just give you the content.
Yeah. And even on television. Even on television, you're seeing it now, but they have like the commercials inside the broadcast where you'll have a smaller screen or half screen for 30 seconds where you can still see the broadcast, but you're just giving them the commercial while the game's going on. I think soon they will get rid of the full 3-minute commercial breaks for most sport broadcasts. It'll be inside.
Why do you think we don't do it here, bro?
Right,
we don't do it. We break like 4 or 5 minutes in an hour.
Yep.
We talk here 53, 56 minutes average in an hour. Who does that?
Right.
Nobody, because people don't have time to sit around for commercials, man.
No.
They hear an 8-minute segment on radio and then there's an 8-minute commercial break after that. It's just like,
they're gonna switch to another channel.
Exactly. It's tiresome. Listen, yesterday I went to see Top Gun Maverick. It's like this in every phase of our world. You have the IMAX, you have the HD 4K, and then there's that other one, the whatever it's called. There's 3 different types of screens apart from your regular movie screen. You know what I mean? And that's kind of because they know that the home experience has gotten so much better that's what they're competing with. Right. Just like sports, they're competing with our own home experiences that are so good. They've got to improve it to a certain level. You know what I mean? And that's
the point.
Yeah, no,
Excellent
it's
point.
crazy stuff. By the way, let me get to some Dolphins since it is a Dolphins segment here. There's no Dolphin news to really talk about right now or anything.
No,
But
no, they're gonna have mandatory mini camp on Wednesday and Thursday. So tomorrow and
right,
Thursday, and so we'll be out there. You'll see some tweets, you'll see some reports. Again, like I say every year, it's just May and June, so don't overreact by anything. But as far as news, nothing significant. I
right.
imagine you're gonna see all your veterans there, and they're
And
gonna work out.
Friday we'll talk about what you saw in those days.
Exactly,
But
exactly.
are you entertained by this? Okay, because this is the funny part. I was going to talk about this on my show later on, but I wanted to bring it up to you. The entire offseason has become like this courtroom drama, right?
Mhm.
And you have the defense and you have the prosecution.
Right.
And all it is half the group of the fans and media that are making cases for why they believe the Dolphins will be good and why Tua will succeed, which of course that's the defense. And then the prosecution is the other half of the fans and the media that
Yep.
don't believe in Tua no matter what. And both sides are just they're reaching for stats for this and stats for that and
Yep.
this to back up their point and that. I mean,
Welcome to
that's
the
how
off season, Big O. We
I
have to,
know
they
what it
have to create
like.
content. That's why it's so funny. Like something last week, like the Tyreek Hill comments that blew up, right? When he's talking about Tua and talking about his arm strength. I tweeted some of that stuff out. It blew up. I did a segment on it that blew up on NFL Network, and everybody's like, everybody has a view. And whether it's Tua, whether it's the Dolphins, there's always some sort of indictment. Like I even joked last week, we were talking about Teddy Bridgewater and how he didn't have a great practice, right? And so somebody tweeted about Teddy Bridgewater struggling, and I literally see in the comments, well, Tua would have struggled worse. I'm like,
Right.
dude, wasn't even at practice. Why is everything is such a it's
That's
so
all it
everybody
is.
has to have a take and everybody wants to be hardline on that. And if you're not on their view, they're going to try to convince you why. They're going to tell you why you're wrong. And it's May and June. And so I want to see the real thing. Takes do not excite. I know it gets us through content wise, but I am not a big take guy. And maybe it's for better or for worse. Maybe I don't get as many clicks or don't get as much because of that. But for me, it does not excite me to go on TV talking about, oh, well, Tua is one of the worst quarterbacks in the league, can't throw the deep ball. Or on the other end of it, Tua is the godsend. He's a top 5 quarterback. Like none of these things, I don't believe in either one of them. So why would I go full in on giving a take just for the overall atmosphere of it? So I think that's what we get a lot of the times. From social media, from even our analysts on TV, and it just drives conversation. High, one end on the spectrum, another end of the spectrum, low like this, and they just converge. So I think it's funny, but for me, I have very little interest in engaging in much of this.
Yeah, I'm entertained as hell by it all, but I can't wait for the season, man. I really
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I'm actually excited for Tua because all the things that I thought he needed, I think they got it for him. So
They did.
now,
Yeah.
so
And
now
the
it's
reality is the reality. He does have what he needs to succeed. So if he
yeah,
does not succeed, it's an indictment on him and not the
right.
coaching staff. And I think he knows that. That doesn't need to be put up on a billboard. Oh, Tua, you got it. I think he knows that. So the
Yeah,
reality is we're going to see this year.
yeah. I think he's wired differently than what people think. I
Mm,
don't think he looks at it as pressure. I think he looks at it as thank God now I can go do my job
right.
because
Right. And that's what you want from a franchise quarterback. If he's that
those
guy,
kind of
you
dudes are
want him to
wired
embrace it and not run from it. Yeah.
right. Those kind of dudes are wired like I'm not the problem, dude. I know what the hell I'm doing. I just need the right people around me, and then I'll get it done. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I want to say that that reminds me a little bit of something in Top Gun Maverick. Actually, I don't want to give anything away, but
It's a good. Was it a good watch?
oh, it was a great watch.
I gotta watch it. See, my wife does not really enjoy those type movies, so I gotta figure out.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Did she see the original Top Gun?
I don't think so.
Okay, so you cannot watch this without watching the original Top Gun.
Okay,
Just
so
want you
you'll
to
be
know that.
confused.
You cannot watch this movie without watching the original. The original, by the way,
Mhm.
you have to tell her because some people think that The Sopranos is a mob show,
Yeah.
and it has the mob, but it's really not a mob show.
Yeah.
It's really a soap opera going on inside of the mob,
Got you.
technically, and all
Yep.
the things personally, and then the demons and everything that they deal with, and all the things that the main character goes through running a mob, his family, all that, things that we would never think of. What? Because all you think of in mob, you think of Goodfellas, and you think of The Godfather, and that's what you think,
Right.
old world
Right.
Italian, this, that. This was completely different. If you watch Sopranos, it was way more. If you watch Sons of Anarchy, yeah, sure, it's a bike gang, but there was so much more that
Great
had
show, by the
nothing.
way. Sons of Anarchy, excellent
Right,
show.
but if somebody tells you, "Oh, dude, that's just a bunch of bikers." Well, no,
No,
dude,
no.
yeah, I know there's bikers, but there was
Right.
a whole bunch of other stories. Top Gun's the same way.
Gotcha.
It's not a war movie about planes and all. There's a love affair, there's drama, there's death, there's all kinds of things that tug at your emotions. You know what I mean?
Right.
A movie that women love.
Okay.
Just to tell you, okay?
I may spend
Love
some time and
Top
try to
Gun.
get her to watch the original and take her to go see the other one. So
Right, because one, she's gonna love the volleyball scene from the original,
right.
and then she'll love the updated scene from the new one, you know what I mean? Because the women will love that too. But I'm just telling you, she's going to love the movie. She's
Mhm.
gonna go, "Wow, how come I never saw Top Gun?" That's a movie that translates all generations. Maybe some of the funny, what was the funny movie, Fast Times at Richmond High, right? That did
Yep,
not hold
yep,
up for you? I
yeah.
Top Gun holds up as a ultimate love story, tragedy, all kinds of adversity and overcoming, lessons learned, all that kind of stuff. And then the Maverick, it ties a lot of that stuff together, so you have to watch it, bro. It's really good.
Gotcha.
It's really
Okay.
good. I'm just saying, I'm 55 now, so as I've gotten older, I get more emotional at movies. So I
Mhm.
find myself actually tearing up a lot more in movies than ever. And
Yeah.
so I did some of that yesterday again, because it just kind of ties it all up. So there you go.
Gotcha. That's
All
good
right.
to know.
So
I will definitely make sure to try to check that
you
out.
have Amazon Prime?
You said what?
You have Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Top Gun is on there
Okay.
for free.
That'll do it. We'll check it out some point this week.
Okay. All right. There you go. Enjoy. All right. We will catch up on Friday, and we'll
Yep.
get your thoughts on guys running around in shorts.
Yeah, we'll see. See if we have any
All right.
big hot takes from a couple days of practice.
All right, Cameron.
All
Appreciate
right.
you, man.
All right. See you, Big O. All right.
You got it, baby. There you go. Cameron Wolf. Follow him on Twitter at Cameron Wolf. And of course, you can use KSDT CPAs for many, many, many reasons: for assurance, for tax, for advisory. Go to ksdtcpas.com. That is the Wolf Report.
This has been the KSDT CPA Pro Football Report with NFL insider Cameron Wolf. KSDT is recognized by Forbes as one of the top tax accounting firms for 2022. KSDT CPA is a full-service firm that also excels in crypto. Visit them at ksdtcpa.com or call 305-670-3370.
All righty. Bitcoin is crashing. Oh my God. Damn it. Maybe I can buy more now. Let me see. I hope it is. Is it crashing? Oh my God, it's crashing. Oh my God. It's at 32,000, bro. Why you do that, T-Bone? I should block you for that. I thought it was going to go down to 28, 29 or something. I was going to buy some now. It's at 32,000, you idiot. It's not crashing. What kind of crap is that? You pumped me up here. I thought I was going to buy some now. 32's, I'm getting spoiled. I'll wait for another little dip here. And yeah, somebody mentioned about Cardano. Imagine if for those of you that you have money, God bless you. You've set yourself up, and good for you, man. But think about this: if you just like, for those people that have like cash, like I don't have, I'm a working stiff, right? So I'll put $25 and buy Cardano at 46 cents or whatever, and it's like at 60 something cents now. But I'm just thinking, imagine if you had $100,000 and you do it just for fun, and it goes up, a large percent like that. You can just sell off and make a nice fat ass profit. That's how people with money are able to make, that kind of bank, man. But it's amazing. But yeah, ADA's on a nice little run. It's at 63 cents. Those of you, maybe you got it down at 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. Yeah, I loaded up. And no, I don't plan on selling what I got, because that thing's going to go to a couple dollars. So I'm not worried about it. But it's just funny. And like I told you, even with this run going on in the market right now, because everything is green right now, everything is making a run right now, I don't know if it's sustainable. We still have a war going on. We still have Ukraine in problems. Oil is an issue. Supply chain is an issue. Inflation, rates are going up. All of these things, I just don't know if it's sustainable. Plus, in the summer, things die out a little bit. So I don't think it's going to start to get picking up till after the summer, if anything, or really maybe more like the beginning of 2023, when maybe things can start to pick up. I really feel like we're in where we've been the last 6 months now, in a consolidation and accumulation period. I'm at least that's what I'm hoping for. I'm not the guy that's praying for it to shoot up right now. I don't. I can wait. Mass adoption is not coming for a couple more years. So if you want to let me, accumulate more and more here during this time, God bless you, man. Please, thank you. Let me get a little more Polygon. Let me get a little more ADA. Let me get a little more Avalanche. Yeah, I'll take a little more Star Atlas, and I'm definitely going to get more Ethereum now. I bought more Ethereum now when it was at 17 and 1800. Now I got up to 1900 and 2000. I stopped. But if it comes back down again, I'm going to get more Ethereum, and I'm going to keep loading up on Bitcoin for sure. I'm not going to stop loading up on Bitcoin. But to me, that's it. I look at it and it's like, I laugh at like T-Bone. Wow, Bitcoin is great. I love what's going on. I'm chewing it up like Pac-Man, because I am not here to panic at all, and I don't worry about the now. I keep telling you that. Don't worry I don't worry about micro. I worry about macro, and the macroeconomics of it are so strong. We're only going in one direction. That's all. It's probably the problem is that the whole world is, world of crap right now. We got problems everywhere. Until we get over this, where nothing's going to make a real strong move up. That's why take advantage. If you can collect some along the way and stash it, that's what you do. Stash, baby. Stash. Tony says Top Gun 2 was better than the original. I don't have a problem with anybody saying that. It was phenomenal, dude. I enjoyed the hell out of it. And it's fun for me because now I have another movie that I can rewatch at home whenever things are slow and all that. And you run into movies that you like and you'll rewatch them. Like, hey, man, we unfortunately, we lost Ray Liotta, and I can't watch Goodfellas enough. And over the weekend, I watched Goodfellas again, and I enjoyed every moment of it. What is it, like 3 hours, 245? I don't know what the hell that movie is. It's a long-ass movie, and it goes by like nothing. What movie did I watch just recently that I thought was a half hour too long? We talked about it. I went to the movies recently, and I don't go to a lot of movies, so now I'm forgetting which one it was. But I thought the movie was all right, but it was a half hour too long. I forgot which one it was we were talking about. Sometimes some movies, when they go over the 2-hour mark, you're playing with fire. You got to be a really good movie to go over the 2-hour mark. to keep us in there. Chef Sparky says Mike Florio says Colin Kaepernick is better than Tua. Well, here's the problem, Chef Sparky. You're the idiot listening to Mike Florio. You know, that's the only thing I can say. You know, you're the idiot that's repeating things that Mike Florio says, who really does things just to be a troll. Just like what's that? The turd, cow turd, and what's the other known giant troll that is on Fox Sports? What's that guy's name? Baseless. I mean, it's obvious what they do. They don't really talk sports. It's just let me have the hot take that I can go and twist people and get them riled up. And dude, you could disagree with things about LeBron, but when you see Baseless do it, can't you tell what he's doing? You know what I mean? There are certain people like that dude that's just garbage, Jason Whitlock. Like, he's garbage. All he does is use race as a crutch on purpose. It's not really that he's trying to be, objective and call things like you see it. So if you idiots want to listen to those fools, well, I tell you all the time that I don't listen to them. You know what I mean? And I tell you on Twitter, don't send me things because I don't care. It's your effing fault you're listening to them. Not me. I don't look at those guys as authorities in anything whatsoever. So I leave it on you guys. So I'd rather pick on you guys for being foolish enough to be listening to that crap. You know what I mean? So when they tell you that, you have lost every bit of, any kind of, you didn't really have credibility in my eyes, but when you say shit like that, you know what they're doing. There's no credibility there whatsoever. Knock yourselves out, man. Big O, would you say the two teams of the NBA decade of the 2000s to present has to be the Warriors and Spurs? Oh, yeah, for sure. Hell yeah. Definitely, dude. Yeah. Let's see. Thank you, T-Bone. Yes, we know that there's 3 million left to be mined on Bitcoin. I'm pissed I didn't sell at $2.90 almost a year ago. I thought Cardano would hit 4. Mike, dude, what you should do is, did you buy more now? It's going to go past 290. Relax, dude. The hard fork's coming in now. It's Cardano's not even, the ecosystem is growing. It's got more transactions than ever than it did when it was at 2.9. It's got more dApps on it than ever. Okay, there's more money in DeFi than ever. Patience, Mike. Patience. Yes, you could have made a boatload of money there at 2.9 and then rebought now, which is what I think you're thinking of and you're saying. Okay, you didn't do that. Fine. Nobody knows when the top is the top and the bottom is the bottom, right? Mike, load up now because the next time it goes to 2.9, it's going to go way past that. And so you're going to make even more money on your second go around if you reloaded now when it's at the 40 cents and the 50-cent mark and 60-cent mark and 70-cent mark. If you bought it at any of those times, it's amazing. So you're good, Mike, bro. Don't worry about it. And if you're staking and earning interest along the way, so you're adding more Cardano, you're fine. You're fine, bro. Don't get pissed at yourself. I get it. You could have made some money, and then when it came down again, you could have bought it over again, and then, wait. Yeah. I got mine in the 90s. Now I've lowered my overall price now, which is awesome. But I could have sold it also, and I chose not to. I could have sold my Ethereum where I have all my Ethereum between 15 and 1700, pretty much most of it. I got some at 18, 1900, but very little. But most of it is in that area. And when it got to 47, I could have, but I said no, because I know Ethereum is going to go way higher. But I'm fine. That's how this happened. This happened to Bitcoin early when it goes from 200 to 600 to 6,000, and then it goes back down to 2,000, and then goes all the way up to 10,000, then goes back down to 5,000 or 6,000, it goes back up to 20, goes back down to 8, goes back up to 30 something, goes back down to 20 something, then goes up to 60 something, then comes back down to 30, and it's going to keep going because the lows are going to be higher and the highs are going to get higher, and that's just the way it is. But it's with time. So remember, Cardano was in the pennies 2 years ago, and so now look where it's at. So its lows now are way higher than the lows of just a couple of years ago, but nobody looks at it in the micro. They always look at it in the micro. So be patient, Mike. Reload now at all, and the next time you'll make even more money. It's a beauty. Good luck to you, my brother. Platforms have leveled the playing field. TV's not what it used to be. Oh yeah, no, of course. Yeah, I think that's why this platform is thriving, because we give you guys what you want. Content. Dougie Fresh says, oh, don't forget Chris Sims. Someone's horrific at playing a sport is somehow even worse at engaging in discourse about said sport. And he looks like a snitch in every person's escape movie. Yeah, Chris is another one that trolls too. He's not very good on the air also. That's the other thing I've noticed with him. Not very good on the air. Delivery, not impressive. Let's see. Big O, whatever happened to Cadena? It's there, my brother. It's there. I've loaded up on a lot more Cadena. Again, Cadena is way young. Like, you can't put it in the Cardano, and you can't put it in the, Ethereum and Polkadot and Avalanche and, those kind of blockchains. They're much younger. Now, what Cadena has done that the others have not is they use layer one, they use the Bitcoin system, which is the most secured one. But then they did something that Bitcoin hasn't been able to do. They now have learned how to add more parachains to their blockchain so they can actually do more transactions per second. So they are more scalable, actually, than the original program of Bitcoin. And that's why the Lightning Network on Bitcoin is so important for them, so they can, obviously, transactions can go faster. But that's the other thing that Cadena is doing. Remember, they're a US company based in Brooklyn, young guys. There's a new chain. That's why it's cheap. That's why it's at a low price right now. And it's gone lower. And I've just loaded up. I'm not about micro, man. I didn't invest in, maybe you invested in Cadena thinking you were going to make money 6 months later. I'm investing in Cadena, waiting for it 3 to 4 years from now. So ask me in a year and a half or two about Cadena, and then we'll talk. And if it hasn't made significant progress there on its way to where I think it'll be, then we'll talk. But again, you guys want to follow up on things every week or every month, you're a terrible investor. Unless you're rich, then, hey, man, God bless you. If you're trying to do like, hey, I bought $100,000 of Cardano at 44 cents. It's at 64. Now I'm going to dump it. God bless you. You made a lot of money. That's not who I am. So, talking about things a couple months later does nothing for me. Not worried about it. We talk a year or 2, 3 years from now. That's when you want to start talking. Let's see what else. I'm very curious to see how Cardano will affect Ethereum when Cardano reaches its designated potential. Yeah, it's a faster It's a faster Ethereum, Cardano. Yeah. They'll be, remember, not one blockchain is going to dominate. It's not going to happen. Remember, Ethereum 2 also will be installed also, which will allow them to be more scalable and a lot faster too, and have more transactions and lower their gas fees. That's the reason why Polygon has exploded, because Polygon is on the Ethereum network, but their gas fees are fractions of what they charge on Ethereum, even though Ethereum gas fees have gone down, but still Polygon's gas fees are pennies. And so Polygon's transactions have gone through the roof. So a lot of people doing transactions through the Ethereum blockchain are using Polygon to pay less gas fees. So it all work out. It's like the internet, but everybody's not going to be on one highway. There's going to be lots of highways, so lots of blockchains, and the key is that they all connect. This is why I love Polkadot, because Polkadot is a layer 0 that will connect all of these blockchains together, and that's kind of what they do. Heat Finn says, I'd rather be patient. There you go. No way you go into a season without adding a veteran. They need to be able to run the ball. First playoff game will be on the road. Think Buffalo, KC, Baltimore, or Tennessee. Well, I'm not worried about Baltimore. I mean, if that's that Baltimore doesn't phase me anymore, because the Dolphin defense is much better now, and they should get better now with the offense becoming better. They won't be on the field nearly as much, and they'll have more points on the board. But Lamar Jackson puts zero fear in me whatsoever as an offensive player. You stop the run with Baltimore, you stop them. He can't beat you with his arm. So, hell, it's so bad. They said, yeah, we got to get rid of Hollywood Brown. We'll draft a young guy. What do you need a big-time receiver on this team for? There's no need for any big-time receivers on the Baltimore Ravens. You don't have a quarterback that can use them. I bought XRP for 25 cents. It went to $1.20. I unloaded it. Well, I would have never bought XRP, because anything that's tied up with first of all, buying it and selling it is a pain in the ass. You can barely do it anywhere. That's the other thing. So, and you did that a long time ago. You didn't do it recently, that's for sure. I'm a huge fan of Litecoin because it's cheap transaction fees. I like Litecoin to use for transactions. I don't like Litecoin to invest at all. Not a financial advisor, just a guy that likes crypto. I'm not a Litecoin fan as an investor. You want to know what I would invest in right now? Chainlink. That's what I would invest now. Not a financial advisor, just telling you what I would do, because I'm doing it. And over the last couple of weeks, I have loaded up on Chainlink like never before, because I didn't get in early on Chainlink and lost out, and it shot up to $50-something. Now it's come back down. It is the oracle of the entire blockchain. Everybody that wants to transfer anything from the web, they're going to need to use Chainlink. So Chainlink is a monster, and a monopolizing monster to a certain extent. Just like VeChain, certain companies have monopolies. Chainlink is one of them. And I think Chainlink is going to explode. All right. I got a ton of Chainlink now, and I've got it now at $6.80. And right now, Chainlink has gone up since I got it. It's up at 735 right now. So we're making a little bank off of it. We're averaging at 680. It's at 735. I don't know. Maybe it'll come back down a little bit more, and I'll buy more. I'll keep loading up. Chainlink at 735 right now. I'd load up to. If I don't have any Chainlink, easily load up at 735. Okay. That thing was at what was it? 38. I'm sorry. 38-29 on November 3rd of 2021. So chain link for me is one that's an absolute, and I recently got into it because, of course, it got so cheap that I said, forget it. I've got to get in on it, and this thing is going to be an absolute monster. Let me show you something else. Hold on a second. Where is it at here? Oh, Lordy, Lordy. Where are we at? 52.88 was the all-time high. Okay? So, it'll go way up. What can I tell you? By the way, it continues, Sean, our liquor split matchup of the night. We took the Marlins minus 1.5. Things were good while Pablo was on the mound. That's although I was hoping Pablo would last a couple of extra innings yesterday. Damn, dude. I mean, if you've gone opposite of our liquor split matchup of the night over the last month, you have made a lot of money. Like a lot of money. Like we've been telling you. A couple times I've won, but man, I have had a brutal last month here in our liquor split matchups of the night. Well, not really if I keep talking about it that I've been doing bad. If you take the opposite, you've been killing it. Rockies won 7-1 yesterday. The Sulcer kid and Scott were just Lopez does 6 innings, 3 hits, 5 Ks. He deals for 6 innings, got that 1.83 ERA. Tell you, dude. Sucks. Felt bad for the Marlins yesterday. Gotta get some runs, man. Gotta get some runs. We got the NBA Finals on Thursday. Game 1 there. Congratulations to Canes baseball, number 6 in the country. They will host the Coral Gables Regional. They'll have Ole Miss, Arizona, and Canisius in the Coral Gables Regional. If they win that, they will probably host the Super Regional too. So great job by Canes baseball, man. Got to be proud of what they've done and what they've been able to overcome and accomplish too along the way. The sad story was Jeff Gladney. You guys saw that? Dies at the age of 25. Car accident. Kid had gone through a rough one, man. He broke up with his girlfriend. She then charged him with sexual assault and all that, and it was a lie. She was just mad because he broke up. So the Vikings had to let him go. Arizona signs him to a deal, and now this kid, 25 years, his entire life ahead of him, and no longer with us. Every day is so precious. And you just don't know when you're going to check out. Every day you open your eyes, you've been gifted. Take advantage of it. Tell the people you love them that you love them. You got a chance to give somebody you love a hug, do it. Take advantage of every single day as much as you can. Enjoy it as much as you can, because you just don't know. Look at that lady driving with her dog down the street in Vegas, and the Raiders players, high, eating shit with his girlfriend, and kills that poor woman and the dog. And they were innocent. They had nothing to do with anything. And they had no idea that was going to be the last time they were going to get in a car. Jeff Gladney was 25. Like, Ray Liotta still had some life left at 67. Hell, he was making a movie in the Dominican Republic. He was filming that movie while he died in a hotel room. So obviously he had plenty of life left to give, plenty of entertainment to provide to people, enjoyment to do what he loves to do, and now he doesn't get to do it. But we don't get to choose what day we check out. So enjoy every single day. This poor young man ends up in a car accident and he's no longer with us. Shame, man. Shame. So rest in peace, Jeff Gladney. Terrible story. Terrible story. Happens every day, right? Look what happened in that elementary school. And we told you, which I'm not that we told you. I mean, story was out there. We talked about it. How one of the victims, the husband, ends up dying from a heart attack because he lost his wife in that shooting. So that killer, he killed both parents, one directly and one indirectly. Life is precious, man. Enjoy the hell out of it. Big O, not a financial advisor and not a betting consultant. I would have to agree with that 100%, sir. Reminds me of that Seinfeld episode where George does the opposite of his instincts, picks up girls telling them he lives with his parents and is unemployed. Let's see. Big O, what happened to Marlins, man? I don't know. Why would I care? The hell do I give a shit about Marlins, man? I don't know. Does your life need Marlins, man? You sit around wondering what happened to Marlins, man? Really? I feel for some of you out there. Some of you may need a life. Let's see. I love you all. Love the show. Thank you, Giovanni. We love you, sir. And greater good. No, Eric Storm says there isn't a set of corners in the NFL that can cover Miami's wide receivers. Tua just needs more than 2 seconds. That is why they have Armstead and Connor Williams. Samuel says, I was just driving the other day, heard a loud bang, looked in my rearview mirror, saw a car flip multiple times. It was excessive velocity for sure. Just say never know. Yep. Amen to that. Let's see. I think he was asking about the Marlins Insider. Oh. Yes, the Marlins, man. What happened to that guy? Okay. It's Craig Mish. Okay. And nothing's happened to him. Tomorrow's June 1st. Okay. They all start tomorrow. All right. So tomorrow, Marlins, man. Oh, God. Poor Mish. We called him Marlins, man. Anyway, so tomorrow we have tomorrow, Wednesdays now becomes an enormous day on the show. 9 to 10 in the morning, we start with the Sloman's Inside the Paint show. At 10:10, we've got Ian Rappaport. At 11 o'clock, Matt Verderam from Fansided is going to join us. Anthony Chang's supposed to join us today. But because today his time slot is right in the middle of player availability with the Heat, we're not getting Anthony Chang today. He'll join us tomorrow at noon. At 12:30, it'll be Jordan Schultz. Okay, the Schultz Report, which, by the way, I saw his partner, CJ McCollum. He does the Pull-Up Podcast with CJ. CJ's joining ESPN now. And CJ is the president of the Players Union, too. So Jordan does a podcast with CJ McCollum, and Jordan breaks a ton of NFL and NBA stories. So he is going to be with us every week at 12:30. And then at 1 o'clock on Wednesdays, Craig Mish, MLB and Marlins Insider, will be joining us every Wednesday at 1 o'clock in our batter's box. So there you go. We will step into the batter's box every Wednesday at 1 o'clock with Craig Mish. Okay, so if that's the Marlins, man, that you're talking about, yes. Because when you say Marlins, man, I just think of that loser. So it's, what can I tell you? Big O, you need to give Omar Kelly crap for trolling Fish. I'm tired of his negativity with begging for Miami to get Tua. Then he turns around and trashes him. What the hell? Well, we love Omar here. Omar's my buddy. But, I've pointed out how Omar likes to play both sides. he, he likes to protect himself on both sides. So, no, I was talking about that. No, I was talking about this. So, yeah. So if Tua makes it, he'll make it sound like he knew all the time that Tua's going to make it. But if Tua doesn't make it, well, I told you, he's too short. His arm's not strong. I knew it from day one. I saw that arm. Yeah, that's not going to work. You know what I mean? So he's working both sides. You got to admire the fact that he just never takes an L. Because he can never be wrong. Because, none of us are ever wrong. And he's working both sides of the Tua story. So he can't lose either way. It's awesome being Omar. And by the way, we give Omar all kinds of crap every week. And he's awesome with it. Yes, pack show tomorrow, pack show almost every day now. Yeah. I got to ask a question. Was there one timeout left when Jimmy Butler shot that? I don't remember, but I'm sure there was. So, John Young says, I would love to burn one with Omar and Big O. Omar just smokes a fat joint and thinks how he can say the opposite of whatever Big O says. So you guys got Omar bonging and everything. Okay. Joey Vasquez says Omar is cool, but he's not on the Tua train. That Panther Kitty Cat's train horn is not Tua's horn. We haven't played the Panthers theme song in a couple of days. For those of you may not know what the Florida Panthers' new theme song is until proven otherwise, because they don't have cats in the building. They don't have really Panthers that growl, that can really bite. Yeah. They have kitty cats. They have kittens there in that building. Have you dropped off your litter yet over at the stadium? Kitty litter, some yarn balls, cat food. Remember, drop it all off at Pantherland. Remind them that they have kitty cats, not real cats there, not Panthers. Oh, you have the theme song? Love it. I love it. By the way, you can live on the edge with Edge Energy Drink. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. Only 78 calories. Use my code BIG OW and get 10% off the shipping. 10% off your shipping. Use the code BIG O, myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com. Love it. Love it. All right. What do we have here? Man, there's so many things that I wanted to get into. Where are we at? Well, wait a minute. Where are we at here? Hey. Manny, where's Manny? We got to reach out to Manny. He's slacking. He's late. I don't want to get into anything. And then Manny shows up. All of a sudden, I got to change gears. By the way, I saw Mike Ditka. That was bad. Anybody see the Mike Ditka thing? Oh my God. He was endorsing some candidate, right? And personally, I don't know how you actually even put this out there, to be quite honest, because it was one of those where you're like, wait a minute, dude, what is wrong with you? What are you doing? You know, how is it that you're, let me see here. Yeah, this is it. Okay. So this guy is endorsing a candidate, and you got to see this video of Mike Ditka. He is disheveled, old. You know, at this point, you've got to be desperate to put Mike Ditka on a show with you to talk about anything because, you know, as it is, when you're born, you have no filter, right? And then eventually, I think they might have taken it down now. I think he did. Yeah, I missed. Oh, man. I wish I could have saved it. What a shame. I was going to play that video for you guys of Mike Ditka, but it looks like it's gone. It's pretty bad. Yeah, no, it's not there anymore, unfortunately. I guess he took it down, but it was bad. Like, he looks like he's half drunk, one of those deals. Anyway, all right, let's switch gears. Let's talk a little bit. Yeah, he has been irrelevant for about 25 years, but people are desperate enough that they use him. They kind of use him for like their purposes. If he's saying something crazy that we love train wrecks, or let's bring on the old man. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He's kind of senile now and says anything he wants, and they bring him on. But seriously, the disheveled one, it was kind of crazy. All right, let's switch gears. Let's talk a little Canes with Manny Navarro next.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Caneswear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All righty. To Extreme, you got some homework during this segment. It says, Big O, you're channeling your inner Omar with the Panthers. Everyone plays both sides. No? I'd like for you to explain that one.
I missed it. What were you saying? I was on a phone call, so I missed it.
I know he's way out. No, because Omar wanted Tua and all that. And then he's gone with the whole, his arm isn't strong enough, this and that. So he's kind of played both sides. Gotcha. When you talk to Omar, he'll tell you, no, I think he's going to play. But then he'll say, no, he doesn't have a strong enough arm and this and that. And so he plays both sides, whereas I've never played both sides. I said, hey, the Panthers are really good. And then throughout the playoffs, I said, well, they're not that good. They're kitty cats. I thought they were good. And now I think I went from, I thought they were pretty damn good to the way you played. You're not that good anymore. I'm not playing both sides. I went from one side to the other, not playing both sides. Okay. At no point have I said Barkov and Huberdeau are now franchise players anymore. In my eyes, they're no longer franchise players because neither one of them have got los cojones that you need. They need to watch Jimmy Butler. See, the problem with the Heat is they don't have another Batman or Robin. Right. You either must make Jimmy Robin or you must be his Robin to his Batman. One of the freaking two, and nobody's there to do it. So I'm not sure if he understands what playing the both sides are. And usually I'm not really a fence straddler. I either go one way or I go the other, and then that's it. It's not either or, actually, but that's kind of me. It is what it is. Gino DeMare, before we get into anything on the football side, the accomplishment in itself. Can you elaborate on that? Because lately there hasn't been this kind of success that he's had the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it's been well documented that Miami's tuition, right, isn't cheap. It's one of the more expensive private schools in the country to attend. And if you play baseball, we all know there's not enough scholarships to go around for everybody. This isn't football where you get 85 scholarships. You have to split. Is it 13 now? I forget what the number is, but 13 full scholarships, I think it is, or 13 point something, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But the whole point is, not everybody's on scholarship, so you got to get parents and people to fork over some money to send their kids to come play baseball at your program. And so being a private school to land a top 8 national seed, and look, I know the finish wasn't great. I think they were 8-8 over the last 16 games, but to get a top national seed, to have a path to Omaha when really the landscape of college baseball has gotten tougher, because you have Florida and Florida State getting a lot of good players, and they're cheaper schools than Miami and State. Even the FAUs and FIUs at times will get good players. Just the fact that the landscape has changed so much and it's more challenging these days is an accomplishment. So kudos to Gino to getting that done. He got a nice indoor hitting facility constructed with Bascom Palmer and all kinds of people putting in money for that. And they're at least competitive in a national landscape again, which is something they hadn't been for a while. So congratulations to him, and hopefully they can get to Omaha this year and silence some critics up.
Would be nice, man. But I just thought, it's considering all that stuff, because we were so spoiled for so long here with Frazier and then with Morris.
Yeah.
That people don't realize. It was one of those things. It was an event too. Frazier actually made baseball an event. And that in itself was impressive as hell. And obviously, even when you go now to a game, it's a great experience to go down to that ballpark, man. It's probably still the best value in town, actually, when it comes bang for your buck, right?
Yeah, certainly the best baseball team, best baseball program. These guys are from where you're sitting, right? And it's a nice little tight venue. The facilities are nice. They got the great milkshakes that everybody shows up for, right? I know I do whenever I go down there. I'm grabbing one of those Mark Light shakes. So I think for college baseball, for it to still be in the position that it's in, with how much the landscape in this sport has changed and how much more expensive tuition is at Miami than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. Yes, it's an accomplishment. And, again, these baseball players, there's only so much talent every single year. And when Florida started to get really, really good, where they were making the tournament every single year and even getting to Omaha and winning a championship, that made things tougher on Miami, because they're the cheaper school to go to. Like I said on our conversation last week, these schools down here, the high schools down here, we have great high school baseball teams, but those parents, they can't afford that Miami tuition, man. It's cheaper to go to Florida. It just is. And you can get some dollars to help in financial aid to help out as well. So I just think it's a good accomplishment for the baseball team. And hopefully, again, it's not going to be easy. They've been inconsistent their last 16 games, but they've got a good enough team in terms of a lineup, batting wise, that if they get hot, they can get to Omaha.
I hope so, man. That would be cool. You wrote a story about Alonzo Highsmith taking over.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about. Don't give up the whole story, but give us a couple of nuggets from the story on your impressions on him, because, man, there's a lot of that feeling around like he really wanted this badly. He wanted to be back at the U.
Yeah, I think, the one thing you got to remember is, and this was kind of the lead to my story, is that this guy spent, 23, 25 years living out of his suitcase, right, as a scout, going from college town to games, to all the time evaluating. And, he hasn't been living in Miami since he played here. He was living in Houston for a while. He was out in Seattle, Green Bay for many, many years, all over the place. And so, this is an opportunity now for him at age 57 to come home and work for the team that he obviously loves more than any other that he's worked for at the University of Miami, and to use everything he's learned and all of his connections in this sport to help the program that he loves more than anything else. And so, the one thing I took away from our conversation, we talked maybe for about half an hour on Friday, is that, he's learned so much from so many wise people. I mean, being around Ron Wolf for all those years up in Green Bay, who obviously built a Super Bowl champion up there, being around some of the scouts that he mentioned, guys that aren't household names, but if you're into pro football, I'm sure you've heard of these guys, and how much he just learned from being around them in terms of evaluating talent. Jimmy Johnson, even his coach at Miami, the things he learned from him, and the way that he's going to be able to help pass this down to the players he's around at Miami, and then to the coaches, and to Mario, to be a sounding board for Mario. I think he's adding him again. You talk about all the moves Mario made this offseason. This is just getting another really smart, well-connected football guy in the building that would have been there in 2020 had Manny Diaz and some other people around the program been ready to do it. I think Alonso was ready to do it then, but ultimately the timing was now.
All right. So, when you look at coaching now and front office, is he done?
Yeah, I think he is, as far as the NFL is concerned. I think this is sort of the ride into the sunset job. I mean, he told me.
I mean Mario. Is Mario done?
Oh, Mario done.
Is there anything more coming from the? Because remember, we all were. It was like, hey, when's he adding this? When is he adding that? Well,
yeah.
Then he went on this blitz that
Right.
he's been adding and adding and adding and adding and adding, and so you're just wondering, like, what's next? Is there anything next? Is there a hole to fill?
There's always jobs that you can hire as many analysts and people as you want out there. I mean, I guess it just depends. I know this from talking to somebody in Miami's administration. They are in lockstep with him. Whenever he goes to them and says, I need this, they keep saying yes. They keep giving him whatever he wants. So the commitment is there from the university.
There's no doubt.
If Mario feels like he needs to add more, I think at this point, and I haven't had a chance to speak to Mario yet. We've been playing phone tag for over a week here. But I personally think, where else do you add at this point? It's more about, okay, you go into the season with what you have, and then when guys start to get hired, that process starts again. But the point is, you're never going to have to sit here and complain and say, well, Miami didn't hire somebody who's qualified for the job. Yeah. I think that's whether, Josh Gaddis leaves in a year or anybody else, Miami is in a position where they're going to have great people in this program involved in a lot of different ways.
I'm with you there. Remember, at Caneswear, 2511 South University Drive in Davie. Go check out all the gear. They got anything and everything with a UM logo on it. Dolphins logos, Marlins, Inter Miami, man, they're playing really well. They probably played their best game ever in the history of their franchise this past week. And they've actually, this young crowd looks good. They got a lot of killer Inter Miami gear. Got some Panthers gear for the off season. Remember, if you order $99 or more online at caneswear.com, you're going to get some free shipping. So get your UM sandals ready for your cookouts and hangouts and tailgates and all that good stuff over at Caneswear, 2511 South University Drive in Davie. All right, so what do we got on the recruiting side? Anything, transfer portal? What are we hearing, Mr. Navarro?
What we're going to have is a busy month of June, a lot of visitors. So from the recruiting standpoint of the 2023 class, it's important to get these kids on campus. The kids, if they don't take an official visit in the summertime or come back during the regular season, chances are you're not going to get them. So you can be in the hunt for a ton of top 100 kids, but you got to get them on campus. And that's really been the focus, I think, here for Mario. He's got 3 lined up for this first weekend. I talked about the Olaus Alinen kid, the Finland offensive tackle, 6'7", 320 pounds, 4-star kid. who plays in Connecticut. He'll be here, but there's two others. There's an edge rusher, Tamir Robinson, out of Pittsburgh, and a safety out of Jersey. So, those are three kids that will be taking their visits here. I know Miami feels like it has a good shot at Alinen on the offensive line. And from talking to him myself, I'll have a story on him in The Athletic here this week. Talking to him last week about the whole thing, he's known Cristobal and Mirabal longer than he has the other coaches of his finalists. So that plays in Miami's favor. You start getting legitimate, talented offensive linemen here on a regular basis, back-to-back years. You stack them up, then you're going to be that force that you want to be on the offensive side of the ball. Oh, I did some research because I'm doing that state of the program. Teams that win the ACC championship, I'm going to read to you some of these numbers in terms of what their offenses averaged, because I was looking this up. I wanted to have some factoids. Hold on a second. I'm pulling it up here in my little Excel sheet. Anyway, I think the last 4 ACC champions have all averaged over 40 points a game offensively. And I think you'd have to go back to 2009, the last time somebody didn't average 30 points. When you look at Miami and their offenses and what they've done here or how they've struggled, etc., there's only been a couple seasons where they've averaged more than 30 points here offensively. The last 2 years with Lashley, and then 2016 with Richt, and 2013 with Coley. Every other year it's been under 30. So you need a high-powered offense. The whole point is you got to score a ton of points. You got to be able to run the football. And so Gaddis is a running coordinator, and Cristobal is a guy who wants to run the football. And they have to be able to do that. They've got to improve on that side of the ball, and you do that with elite linemen. So
Marino didn't win because he didn't have a running game and a defense. And that's Marino. Yep. Not Tua. Okay, not Van Dyke. All right, not any other normal quarterback. Dan effing Marino. Never had anybody he could hand it off to that was his equal. Yet Scott Mitchell's given Barry effing Sanders.
Right.
The rest that's all you need to know.
Yep.
Okay? Ryan Tannehill gets Derrick Henry. All right? We get Mark Higgs.
Yep.
That's all you
and
need
Sammy
to
Smith.
know. Oof. Oh, yeah, the drug kingpin. He straightened out his life at least, finally. Well, I mean, if you're smart, 10, 15 years of jail, you learn your lesson. Not that everybody does, but maybe he did. Looks like he did. But yeah. Although what Sammy did against UM that year, that's what convinced all of us, like, oh, okay, this guy's real. Because like that UM defense was an NFL defense he ran on. So it's like, holy shit.
By the way, there's only been one offensive player drafted out of UM in the last 2 years. Brevin Jordan. All right. Think about that. All right. When you think about the offense.
And an underachiever at that.
Yes. One guy out of this offense drafted in the last 2 years. That's not going to win you much, Mario. That's why people say, oh, it's not the talent. They got tons of players. Okay. Go look at the NFL draft and tell me where all that talent is.
Right. I'm with you. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. Catch his work there at The Athletic, and please subscribe and support Manny and all the great writers there. Manny, we will catch up on Friday, my friend. Thank you for taking some time as always.
No problem, brother. Take care. Talk to you soon.
You got it. There you go. The great Manny Navarro and our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
What? Oh, look.
warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. You need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
Oh, great. You got a doorbell camera. Now you got a front row seat to your house getting robbed. No. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Get out of my house!
Ooh, Mom's jewelry. There goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Sloman's, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, a free doorbell camera.
Free?
One that'll actually work for you. It's not total security unless it's the Sloman's Shield. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by Caneswear. Go to Caneswear.com, where all orders over $99 get free shipping. Sloman's Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Tommy B. Butts Junior Enterprises.com. Licensed roofing contractor. 100% financing is available. Go to Tommy B. Butts Junior Enterprises.com.
When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Sir, we are ready to rock. Oh, yeah. Perdomo Cigar is always ready to rock. There you go. I like it. A little champagne, 10th anniversary. Maybe the Estate Seleccion 94 rating from the Cigar Journal, a 12-year-old double age vintage. I love those. Those are so good. I actually had one the other day. 20th anniversary, one of my favorite cigars on the planet. There are so many good cigars in the Perdomo line, whether it's the Lot 23, the Habano with that bourbon barrel aged cigar that is just so awesome. Got a 93 rating from Cigar Journal. The 10th anniversary champagne that you're looking at right now, 93 rating from the Cigar Journal. I mean, there's so many. I could just keep thinking of all the different types of Perdomo cigars. And if you haven't been, by the way, to the retail store, you need to go. It's right off of the Palmetto. It's easy to find, easy to get to, 5150 Northwest 167th Street there. And in Miami Gardens, right off of the Palmetto, big, beautiful building. It says Perdomo Cigars. So treat yourself, folks, to a great cigar, and that is a Perdomo cigar. All right. For my man, Too Extreme, who we love, Too Extreme, I don't play both sides, my brother. Okay? It's either or. Now, like my man Omar will tell you, like, if you watch him in his writing, well, you know, if you give Tua this and that, sure enough, he should succeed this year. He should win. But then on the flip side, he's like, well, he doesn't have a strong enough arm. Well, does he have a strong enough arm or not? Is he athletic enough or not? Can he make all the throws that you need or not? Because you can't say both in the same sentence. And that's my problem with Omar. Omar has played both sides of the whole Tua thing. He will write one moment that he can't win, and he will write the next moment that he can win with this or that. Whereas the difference, to Extreme, that you're not paying attention is, I like Brian Flores until I didn't. But I never wavered, and I went back to liking Brian Flores and not liking Brian Flores and telling, oh, I like him because of this. And I can no. No, once I didn't like him, I'm done. I said, this is not the guy. He's the wrong person. And I was off the bandwagon. Same thing here with the Panthers. The Panthers, I said, they were the best regular season team. And they were, by the way. They were the number one overall seed in the regular season. Panthers were the number one seed in the Eastern Conference. But throughout the whole thing, I said, this is a legacy moment for Barkov, Huberdeau, and Ekblad. And in my eyes, they failed that legacy moment. And here's where I'm at now with them. I no longer believe that Barkov or Huberdeau are franchise players. They're not sons of bitches. That's what I've come to that realization. That's all. It's pretty simple. I can believe in something until I can't. But I'm not wavering one way or the other. While I like it, I'm not telling you why I dislike it and it's going to fail. Now, I'm not playing both sides. I only play one side. But once you gather enough information, you have to change your mind. We love Duncan Robinson shooting. Once you gather all the information, you realize he can't drive to the basket. He can't fill a lane. He can't create a shot. Can't create shots for others. Can't play defense. Can't rebound. So then what's he good for? So only shooting? Well, now you develop Caleb Martin. Now you develop Max Strus. Those are two-way players. Why would you want Duncan Robinson? So now we could love what Duncan Robinson did early on, but now you have to get off the Duncan Robinson bandwagon. Not play it both ways. Now you got to get off of it and say, we've got to make a decision. You got to keep Caleb, right? Get rid of Duncan. So that's how life is. You marry her, but if she doesn't turn out to be a good wife, you divorce her. You don't stay with her. You know what I mean? So once you've gathered enough information, You have to make a determination. I voted for this president. He made all the promises. I like him. He stands for this. He stands for that. Then 2 years in office or 3 years in office, he didn't stand for half the stuff he told you. He didn't really work and hard enough to get things done. Didn't make much of a change. Are you going to still say he's your president, that he's the guy you really want? Or are you going to say, yeah, that was a bad vote? Once you gather information to extreme, you have to change. You have to either, build on your opinion, or you change it one way or the other. And that's all I ever do. And with Tua, I've been steadfast supporting Tua from the get-go. Only thing I ever said I was concerned about with Tua was what? Injuries. That's the only thing I was never concerned about it, whether he's a player or not. He's a player. I'm convinced he's a player. I never worried about his athleticism. I never worried about his arm. I never worried about his deep ball. I never worried about anything like that. Only thing I ever worried about with Tua is give the man some help like every damn quarterback needs. That's all I'm asking for. Never. Now, if Tua gets what he needs and he still can't do it, then we have to change our minds about Tua. But for now, I'm steadfast on Tua. I believe in Tua. Okay? I believe, Jimmy Butler to extreme. I said Jimmy Butler was what? An all-star. Yeah, no, I'm not convinced he's a superstar. No, I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry. This year he convinced me he does have superstar qualities to him. You cannot do the things he does if you're not a superstar. But unfortunately, in this game, one superstar is not enough to carry you over the top. The superstar is going to need another star to help him out, and he doesn't have it. That's all. But that's convincing me the other way now, that I thought he was just all-star, but he keeps doing things that are superstar-like. I have to give him his due, dude. I have to. So I'm not playing both. I'm just admitting when I'm wrong that I'm saying, hey, man, I was wrong. Brian Flores is not a good coach. And this and this and this is why he's not a good coach, and I think he needs to be gone. And I changed my mind. And with Tua, I'm convinced he can be a good quarterback, and I tell you why. Now we will find out if he's a good quarterback or not. But everything goes with assessing the information. But I'm not playing both sides, where one day I tell you he's good and one day I tell you he's bad. And that's what my guy Omar does all the time. He'll write an article that he's good, and then he'll write an article that he's bad. And it's like, yo, wait a minute, dude. You can't have it both ways. You got to make a decision. You got to shit or get off the pot, bro. One of the two. That's the bottom line. Big O, what's your favorite one-hit wonder song? Well, that's a difficult question. Sky rockets in flight, afternoon delight. There you go. No, I have no idea, bro. I'd have to think about that. Turn it up, the radio. I think we just lost the, I believe we just lost the singer to Autograph, actually. Big O, who do you want to win the NBA Finals, Golden State or Boston? It's a great question. I really don't care, but I kind of like the Golden State story because of all the adversity they've fought back from. I mean, I think they're going to win anyway because I think they're the better team. Yeah. To Big O's point, my only issue with Game 7 was the Heat's inability to play certain guys. Martin and Robinson just taught out of paper. Our team was deeper. However, as series played, our bench got smaller. That's how it always is. They get down to 8. I agree with you on Martin. Robinson can't do any help because he can't play defense. They couldn't get stops. So if you can't get stops, Robinson's not going to help you there. But Caleb could have helped you there. I keep wondering the Caleb thing is they didn't want to showcase him enough. because they got to re-sign him. And he's a difficult re-sign because they've got limitations. And somebody can, outbid them for him probably. So, yeah. Yep, you said Duncan Robinson. I understood perfectly. And I was the same person that loved him, but after seeing him this season, I'm convinced he's not what we can depend on and keep. It's assessing it. You can love Duncan Robinson, but you have to assess the information after. And it has to change your mind. And just like Flo changed my mind. That's it. That's all. Big O, where do you rank the Hill Waddle duo in terms of top wide receivers in the NFL? Why don't we wait till the season plays out and then we can see where they rank. They're going to be one of the top ones, bro, but let's just wait till they play and then we can get a better feel for what really is happening. Right now, it's just a bunch of crap that we're all throwing up against the wall. Dougie Fresh says, I just watched Ditka's video. He looks like a castaway from the Carbohydrates Island whose shirt was used by pigeons for a gender reveal party. Yeah, he was bad. Yeah, it's bad. I don't know where you found it because I went to the guy's Twitter feed and it looks like he took it down. Maybe somebody copied it and kept it on there. Maybe, you know what? Maybe, yeah, that's what happened. Probably what happened. So if I put Mike Ditka, if I put Mike Ditka, it may come out. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Let me see if this one actually has the video itself. If it does, because that video. See, the page doesn't exist. Damn, where did you see it, dude? I watched it already, but I wanted to show people the video because it's like, yeah. By the way, other videos are coming out when you put Ditka. I'm just saying. Yeah, no, it's not. Damn it. Can't find it. Oh, that sucks. What a shame. Oh, wait a minute. I got it. Some guy named Ron Flipowski just kept it. Oh, this is great. Or kind of, or sad, however you want to look at it. But let's share it with you. Take down that EJD and let's share the Mike Ditka disheveled video with you all. Here we go. And let me enlarge it because you got to see. Let me see. Yes, you got to see it in all its glory.
You may remember me. I used to coach at this team called the Chicago Bears. I got a good friend, David Spada, who's a good man, who's running for the Lake County Board. And he will do a heck of a job because he loves his city. And I think that's what you got to do. You got to love what you're doing. And I think David would be great at it. So, hey, you got nothing better to do. Vote for him. He's a good man. He'll be one of the good politicians that Chicago had.
Yeah. Wow. Holy crap, dude. It's bad. Did you notice all the cigar ash marks all over his shirt? His hair is all messed up. He's drunk. Really, like, who chose to air that video? Did they replay it after and say, oh, this is great, Mike, you look fantastic? He looks like an absolute disaster. Now he's turned into a crazy old geezer anyways over the last few years. And whenever people bring him on, they bring him on for something radical or whatever, and he'll just go off on stuff. You've got to be desperate to want to bring Mike Ditka on your show at this point in time when Hell, there's a ton of you that don't even know who the hell Mike Ditka is at this point now. That was bad, dude. Mike Ditka after a night of binge drinking. What are you talking about, Zachary? After a morning of a couple of shots. Forget the night before. This is Mike Ditka right now. Oh, the media hates on Tua because the mainstream media has a love affair with Flores, so they try to deflect all the blame away from Flo. You know, I told Cam this, and I find it hilarious. I really do. I find it hilarious that some of you out there reach out to Omar, by the way. He's also on Cuban time, too. We had Manny, but Manny's Cuban, so he's supposed to be late. Omar, he's not officially a Cuban time guy. So, he's not Cuban, so he doesn't get to play Cuban time. But I'm just saying, that video that's some brutal stuff, bro. That's God. Oh, lordy. Ditka's just as smart as Herschel Walker. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Same idiots. Yeah, the Herschel Walker thing the other day. My God. But then again, we vote for Gavin Newsom in California. This bitch witch that what's her name? Is just pure garbage from Georgia. Like, what losers in Georgia vote for that? That thing. What's her name? Oh my God. And what we got, isn't it in the upper panhandle? Isn't that where Matt Gaetz is from too? Also, like, people we vote into office, man. Just crazy. So yeah. So it's not surprising that they vote for Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's it. That cancerous bitch. You vote for that, you're gonna vote for Herschel Walker. It's like, yeah. So there you go. Oh, that's right. He did say that. So he's officially, he can do that. He can be late. That's right. He did say his mom was half Cuban. That's right. All right, let's get Omar on. He does have Cuban in the family, so that's why he's 4 minutes late. And our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The Big O Radio Show is home for the hardcore Dolphins fan. That's why we give you Omar Kelly twice a week. Buckle up. It's time for the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show.
Let's go. Let's get into it. Follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly and catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. How you feeling?
I'm good. Can't complain. Sitting here in the midst of work, trying to get myself organized with my thoughts.
You had an article, and I found it enlightening, the article for the Miami Dolphins in this sense. And maybe you agree or you don't agree, but you kind of wrote the article, so you kind of lead the fans in that direction. When you talk about hot seat guys, all of them weren't even starters. Like, they're all guys that are like trying to fight for a spot or something. There aren't really a lot of. That's the good thing, that there aren't a ton. I know you started off the article in general with Tua, but that really wasn't the 10 guys that were on the list, right?
No,
right.
This was more roster spots, not like
right. That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
This is more. This wasn't. Now if you're talking about like guys where their success or failure or development is critical to the team's like overall play. Now that's
of course.
That's a good idea. But yeah, no, I'm talking about guys who, there's no guarantee these guys are on the 53-man roster. Right. It really depends on how they perform and how they learn the offense. But yeah, none of those guys are starters, except for Preston. I would say Preston Williams. Miles Gaskin was a starter. So
right. I mean, these are all guys that either had some starts in them or by the way, have potential still to be starting caliber type players. It all depends on them putting it together and everything falling into place, of course. But that's the thing about, this team this year, that they've done a pretty good job of filling in that overall you're kind of satisfied with your starters or the guys that are kind of battling for that starting spot. And then when you look at the rest, these are the kind of other issues that you're talking about. So it's not that bad is what I'm saying. To start off, your issues seem like you've done a good job of taking care of a lot of things.
Yeah, I've said that for weeks now, if not months. I love the way that they built this roster. I love the team. They're really, it's very hard for me to find holes in the roster, and even the holes that I did find, the signing of Melvin Ingram, if they needed another pass rusher, that was done. The center spot, they've got a guy that, played another position working at center. Then you got Michael Dieters kind of competing for that job or the backup job. I'd probably still add a center, not necessarily a veteran center, but that could wait. You could wait till the first round of cuts or the second round of cuts. You don't have to do it tomorrow. I'm scanning my brain on the roster. No, even tackle, because we're not watching.
It's only one side. It's only one side that they're battling for, right?
Yeah, but we're not watching Teron Armstead right now, and so, but you got Greg Little. Like, it'll be interesting to see what happens now. This mandatory camp, and everybody has to show up, and everybody has to participate to see where things shake out. Because I am a little bit uncomfortable with the backup tackle situation, even though I know guards can move out to tackle, and I'm pretty confident that they can get the job done. But yeah, I don't have any issues. I can't tell you right now. I can't name you an issue on, maybe I would have loved a better inside linebacker, but Channing Tindall is gonna be developed.
Well, you made the investment for the inside linebacker. I see what you're saying. You'd like to get maybe an established guy right now to get you through the bridge of it. But they didn't make the commitment to fill that spot by drafting that kid.
Absolutely. So I can't, I'm nitpicking and I can't really nitpick. And that just shows you how good the roster is. Now, whether this is a playoff team really depends on the quarterback, how the offensive line holds up, the defense, whether or not they
coaching, Coaching too. I mean, as much as we like what Mike McDaniel's all about, as much as I like the vibe, as much as I like that he looks like he tries to communicate with everybody at every level.
Everybody tries to communicate. Everybody tries to communicate. Everybody's a great communicator.
The last guy you had here, the last guy you had here was not known as a communicator, and the one before that was not known as a communicator.
You know what?
Okay. The guy, especially the guy before, only communicated with certain people. Actually,
that's wrong. I hate. Gase was a great communicator. Flores. He I don't think he had an issue communicating. And the thing is, when he didn't like you, he didn't like you. But
there's a lot of coaches that don't like some players. You have to, but if they're good, you got to find a way to work with them. You know what I'm saying? You may have personality clashes.
I mean, he did that. He did that. Until I get
when you keep your starting quarterback on the bench and he's ready to play after playing 18 holes of golf, and he played 18 holes of golf because you told him you weren't starting, so have the afternoon off. and you go play golf, and then after you reach for him, and oh yeah, no, you stay there, Jacoby. We're gonna keep the kid in. Yeah, no, that's not communication, bro.
Listen, until I get, you know what bothers me about what's going on?
What?
And I think I've said this to you before, and it's really puzzling to me. And I'm gonna do a podcast with Nick Hicks and Reasons this week, hopefully.
On the Sun Sentinel?
No.
Then no. No.
What do you mean no?
It's exclusive. Of course not. No. Love you, Nick. Love your reasons. No. We pay you to be exclusive. No. So no.
Oh, good point.
No.
Here's what bothers me.
I hope you didn't commit to him. You're gonna have to uncommit to him.
Good point.
Sorry, guys. But go ahead.
Here's what bothers me. The mystery around Tua and his personality.
By the way, you could tell Nick and Reasons to come on with us. All four of us. Well,
Honestly, I don't even know who Reasons is. Like the people say
no,
him.
I know them both, and I talked to both of them. They're more than if we want to do it, we can do it on this platform. All four of us. You can tell them that. Okay.
Gotcha.
I don't have a problem with that. I think Dolphin fans would love that. We'll have some fun with it.
The mystery about Tua's personality, and I don't know much more than what they want me to know, and what is the prepackaged, fabricated version of what the world wants you to know about Tua. And it's like you ask players who know him and are his teammate and have been his teammates for a while, and they're like, yeah, no, I can't talk about that. I'm like, what? You can't talk about what a person is like? You can't talk about what their personality is like?
No.
It's like you know, what like Lynn Bowden Jr., you know, he's the guy who's worked out with Tua consistently all offseason.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I can't talk about his personality.
Well, that's because they don't want to. Maybe that's kind of the MO behind the scenes. Don't talk about it. You know what I mean? Hey man, that's how it is. You don't really get to talk about Tiger.
That's how it is with who? That's how it is
with lots of people. It's not like lots of people aren't elaborating on Aaron Rodgers, and they're not elaborating on Tiger Woods, and they're not, because that's just how it is sometimes. Some of your top guys in your team like that, you don't really get that. With Tom Brady Patriots, you never got it. Now Tom Brady post Patriots,
no, they tell you
it's got to have been different. It's got to have been different. You don't really. These are things that sometimes that's kind of like the MO out there. Don't talk. I guess that's what's thrown out there. They don't want you talking about them. Why? Because then you get something and it goes into 8 different directions. And that's the problem when you're one of those polarizing type dudes, that any little thing that's said or a video that's put out, it's interpreted in 8 different ways. And while you may write a very nice piece about Tua, about this or that, people are going to get some of the things you say and then turn them into negative stories all around. So in order to avoid all of that, they try to talk as little as possible.
So let me ask you this question, and I understand.
It's just the way
I probably never had any interest in what Chad Henne or Ryan Fitzpatrick or no Fitzpatrick.
Dude, the only guy you ever talk about is Pennington.
No, or Tannehill. Like
no. You weren't interested. The only guy I've ever heard you out of the quarterbacks that you like.
Fitzpatrick was very interesting.
Oh yeah, that's right. Actually, Fitz too. Fitz was a very entertaining, engaging guy. Yes, that's right.
Like, what's the mystery? I don't get it. You don't get this. You don't get this mystery with Patrick Mahomes. You don't get this. Vow to secrecy. But hey, I'm very curious.
Some people are private, bro. Some people are very private, and he's one of those guys, like Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter, very private, dude.
We still got our
Very
Derek
private.
Jeter stories.
No, but no, but it wasn't from Derek Jeter. It was from some tabloid that he would leave a basket for women, which, by the way, the story ended up not being true after all these years. So it was just, but it was never Derek. You never heard about Derek because Derek never was in front of the camera or paparazzis or any of that because
He was
made
always
sure
in front of the camera. He just never.
No, on the field, I'm saying, but off the field, any of that, he wasn't really searching for any kind of, buzz anywhere. He wasn't telling the paparazzi, I'm going to be at this restaurant or this club so you can see me hang out with the girls and all. That wasn't him. It's not who he was. Some guys, the Cal Ripkens of the world, the Derek Jeters, the Tiger Woods, the Tuas, they love their privacy, bro. Tebow, as polarizing as Tebow is, which is probably the most polarizing athlete I've ever seen. That guy was all private too, bro. Everything was private about him going on behind the scenes. You never got any access to Tebow. Hell, when he was at the Senior Bowl, nobody got access to him. He would walk off with 8,000 people following him, and it was only 2 or 3 people who were going to be selected to talk to Tebow, and that's it. It's the way it is. Some guys are like that, man. They really care about their privacy, and he is a personal and a family type guy. It's just that's who he is. So it's going to be a mission for you. You're going to have to go through his charities and through Lee Steinberg, and you're going to have to try to, really reach out and all that kind of stuff in order to maybe even get some half-assed story. But I don't think a lot of you are going to get a lot of access to that guy.
I don't care about the story. I just would like to actually know what the person is like, other than the package. Huh?
Then you do care about the story because you want to write it.
No, I actually don't want to write it. I wouldn't write it.
So is it your editors are asking? Is that what it is?
No, my editors don't ask me for shit. Just what I give you is what you get.
Okay.
I'm just curious because you hear the one thing Waddle said is he's a lot more competitive than people think he is, and I want to know. It's not like you can't ask him anything on the podium because he'll generally answer, other than what his feelings about Brian Flores are. We talked to him. Right. We'll talk to him this week.
Yeah, it's just hard for you or anybody to ask him to brag about himself or talk about his drive or whatever.
Nobody's asking him to brag. No, he's been, and in fact, in the 2 years that we've covered him, he's been a lot more transparent than most of the quarterbacks that we've ever covered. I mean, he's not. He's a very transparent guy. Like
the last couple of times, I kind of like the guy you're getting the last couple of times because it looks like the guy that looks a little bit more comfortable again. Because man, the guy you got at the end of the year, my man, that man was beaten down. Holy crap, he was beaten down, man.
Emotionally beaten down. I will acknowledge that, especially after that Tennessee game. Tennessee game, you could definitely see that something was there, and I don't know this whole. I've never seen a quarterback divide a whole fan base, so we'll see. We've had crappy quarterbacks before. They
weren't nearly as polarizing as this. No, it's not even close. Fiedler was polarizing, but not like this guy.
No, Henny was polarizing.
Henny was polarizing.
Tannehill was polarizing.
Let me tell you, Fiedler was polarizing, bro. Big time. Big freaking time. Yes. Very polarizing. I covered it. And it was, man, the anti-Fiedler people were, wow. I think there was some anti-Semitism tied to it, but whatever. It is what it is. But that happens whenever any kind of minorities at quarterback, you're just going to have a little bit of whatever that comes from. But yeah, you're right. There's never been any. This is like Tebow. So it's not at the level of Tebow, because Tebow's was,
I hate when people make that comparison, because then you're kind of saying that he's you're I could see the Christianity aspect, the winning on the college level aspect, the division of fans aspect.
But it has nothing to do with talent, my brother.
That
goes back to the conversation we had last week. Kaepernick, Tebow, and Tua are all polarizing, but they're all different types of polarizing. Doesn't mean, or Deshaun Watson, doesn't mean that they're all the same, but they're all polarizing in any which way and form that you want. But there's different things that polarize those players. But it has nothing to do with comparing the talent of Tua to Tebow or Deshaun, or it's just their levels of polarization are different, but they're all polarizing in their own way. That's all.
Is Jay Cutler polarizing?
No, Jay Cutler either is an asshole or not. Either he's lazy or he's not. He's not really polarizing.
I mean,
he's kind of like you like him or you don't.
Isn't that kind of what polarizing is?
No, these guys are lightning rods for so many other reasons that have nothing to do with football.
So why is Tua a lightning rod?
With Jay Cutler is all football. With Tua, there's this other thing that comes with it. You know what I mean?
What is the other thing?
That emotional thing that comes behind the Tuanons and all of that.
I mean, but what is the other thing? What is it? Like, what put it in words? Like, what?
It's that it's hard to put in words, but his personality, like Russell Wilson, like God, it's Tony Gwynn. Some of these guys that have kind of this corny, like, that like they're too good to be true. And it's hard for you to believe that they're that good of a human being and all that kind of. Tebow has the same thing. It's one of these things that people have a hard time believing that some of these kind of cats can actually be your answer because they're so wholesome. And these wholesome dudes tend to be polarizing. It's just a weird dynamic that I can't explain.
So you're saying your theory is that Tua is polarizing because he's wholesome?
Yeah. People can't deal with the fact that he's kind of, near perfect. It's like he's a great human being and he's really about family and he's really about his football team and he's really about the sport. I think people have a hard time believing that he is what he is, just like Tebow. People have a hard time believing that that's what he really believes. You know what I mean? And whether it's his religion, whether it's him being, the good person that he is for anybody and everybody, because most of us don't have that in us. We cannot be like Derek Jeter. Whether we like to admit it or not, Derek Jeter's 1,000 times better than us at handling life. Overall, when being a player and everything's coming at you, and the guy can handle everything marvelously. And so does Russell Wilson. You know what I mean? And his wholesome ass ends up with Ciara. And it's like one of those things that it's just weird, and I think people have a hard time gravitating to people that they cannot relate with because they are so much more perfect than we are. It's just a weird dynamic, but I've seen it over the years. It's just, we treat them differently. Maybe you don't, and maybe I don't, but man, a ton of people do. They just have an issue with these wholesome type dudes. It's weird. It's weird.
I don't know. I can't say why Tua is polarizing, but I never thought about it because he was wholesome or he's portrayed to be wholesome. I don't think anybody's really wholesome.
Well, I could guarantee you Russell Wilson, Tim Tebow, and Tua are way more wholesome than you and me ever will be.
Oh, I'm not wholesome. So
okay, well, that's what I'm saying. More than the average person, whether you like it or not, those dudes tend to make the right decisions more than we do. That's all I'm saying. I don't know what it is, but it's just
it's just a weird dynamic that we have in sports because we want our stars to be edgy. We want our stars to have maybe a little street in them, a little rough in them, a little toughness in them,
Yeah.
a little, you know what I'm saying? Some kind of an edge. You know what I'm saying?
We want our stars to be Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
We
One
want
an
our
edge.
stars to be an a-hole.
And when you look at Jeter, there wasn't really an edge. When you look at Russell, there's not an edge. Not in the way they play. The way they play was an edge, but just the way they carry themselves. Because they weren't going to talk back at you like Jim McMahon. And they're not going to snap at you like Joel Embiid. And you're not going to do the things that athletes in the past and the present do because they're just not that dude. They're just not that dude.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to brag about themselves. They're not going to trash anybody else. They're going to elevate everything around them. And we have in our society, we don't do that. We don't elevate everything around us.
I'm going to give this some serious thought and consideration whether or not Tua's wholesomeness is the reason why he's so divisive.
It's weird. It's weird.
I might ask him that. I might ask him that question. What is your theory on why you're so divisive?
Yeah. Yeah.
He probably doesn't even know that Tua exists.
That's interesting. I don't know. He's got to. Somebody has to have mentioned.
Somebody, I agree with you. Somebody has. Somebody's got
to. Steinberg's assistant, Nick, somebody that's close to him around him.
Yeah, he might know Tua exists.
He has to know. They have to show it to him. Like, you see this is funny as hell or something.
He's probably one of those kids who tells you, he's already told you, I don't have cable, so I don't know what's being said, which is a lie. Right. Not that he doesn't have cable, but that he doesn't know what's being said. Right. But yeah, he's got
telling you, man. I'm telling you, it's just one of those things. You know, we don't talk up Tony Gwynn enough. Why? Because he didn't play like Ricky Henderson, dude. Yet he's one of the greatest hitters of all time. He could go up to the plate blindfolded and know where the ball's coming in the zone to hit it. You know, it's like, but nobody talked because Tony Gwynn was straight and narrow, bro. You know, it's just one of those things, man. It's just we treat that wholesome dude, even though we know he's great. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, he's Lance Allworth, and I'm kind of losing you on this one, but
yeah, you said a name that I have no idea who that is.
Right. Well, that's one of the greatest receivers of all time for the San Diego Chargers back in the day, a Hall of Famer, right? But he was like a religious, wholesome dude that, like, you know, one day they asked one of the linebackers, like, hey, man, don't you ever worry about being on plane flights that there's thunderstorms and all? This is the 60s, by the way. And he goes, oh, there's no way anything will ever happen to us. God will never let anything happen to Lance Allworth. And that's kind of like Tim Tebow. That's kind of like Tua. That's kind of like all those wholesome guys. It's like, oh, we're safe, dude. We've got the angel on board.
But you know what's interesting? And he's not preachy.
No, but he does things the right way every damn time. And that's hard because none of us do that. And everybody else sees it and it's like, damn, I can't do that. I can't be like him. You're telling me every day you're trading for Deshaun Watson and the guy never loses it. And the guy never snaps and the guy handles it and the guy handles it and the guy handles it and the guy handles it. And how does he do that? And it's just, we have a hard time dealing with people that are really good at being good. It's the weirdest thing, man.
Let's hope he's a quarterback.
Well, Russell Wilson was. So Allworth was a hell of a player. So you can be a good person and you know, Derek Jeter, you can be a good person and be a great player. It's happened many times, you know, so it doesn't always have to be Tim Tebow, which, by the way, Tim Tebow was a great player through college. Let's not crap on Tebow's career. Okay. His career was freaking awesome. All right.
He won a playoff game. He started.
Yeah. He wasn't a NFL quarterback, but up until college, that guy's a Hall of Famer, bro. Period. College football Hall of Fame, you know, for sure. I think he's already in there, isn't he? I think he is.
think they already inducted him. All right, what are you working on in the Sun Sentinel so folks can check you out? Articles about good people in sports?
What'd you say?
Articles about good people in sports?
No. I'm trying to figure out what would interest this fan base about this team heading into mandatory minicamp. And people we haven't talked to, like the Xavier Howards, the Emmanuel.
I think the intrigue of the battle of the right side of the line, all the different machinations and combinations that can happen. The fact that they have a plethora of players now that are no longer fighting for 5 spots. They're basically fighting for 2, unless you get competition for Dieter. Because your little experiment with Connor Williams is fun, nice, and all that. But Connor's doing that just in case they desperately need him in the middle of the season to move him from left guard. But he's going to be the left guard with the left tackle. That's their plan. So I think the right side, I think it's very intriguing because you have so many names. And even one of the guys you mentioned on the hot seat in your article could be in that one, in Solomon Kinley, who has worked on his weight because he knows he's got to move better in this system. So it'll be interesting to see what he has because he's kind of been the forgotten man.
You have you seen him? Don't say he's worked on his weight till you've seen him.
Oh, really? He gained it back again?
He looks the same. He looks the same. 340 something pounder. He's always been. Listen,
that's not good. I forgot which one of you guys wrote an article a couple months ago that he was working on losing his weight and all that stuff.
I'm sure it was Barry. You get catfished. I'm not interested in being catfished again.
What a shame. No, but he needs it, dude. There's no way he's going to make it here if he can't move.
Done.
On this
I'm not even counting him. Like,
okay. No, I know you've always been on him for his.
Yeah, nah.
But in this scheme now, oh my God.
I give him a better shot at being a center. Who was it that Greg Little? That's one guy I would like to talk to before minicamp is over.
Okay.
Because he was traded to Miami. He looked good in training camp, but he never played a single down. Every week they needed people to step up at right tackle. Never got a chance.
Well, let's bring it full circle. Maybe somebody didn't communicate with him. I'm just having fun. Just relax.
Listen. Yeah, I mean, maybe communication was an issue. I don't know. I've moved on. I've moved on with my life. He's in Pittsburgh now, making good.
You'll be there soon. You'll be there soon with him, hanging out, having fun, getting chummy.
Funny? They were
enjoying the Steels, enjoying the Iron City beer.
They were in Pittsburgh last week to shoot Aaron Donald. You're absolutely right.
I wonder what's up with that story, huh? He signed with Kanye's group now, with his production company, because he and his wife apparently are into rapping. And so that's kind of the next stage. And so now the Rams are shitting bricks because they want him to get on a new deal, and he's been talking retirement.
Oh, he's kind of. If you watch the I Am Athlete episode, he's very serious about retirement.
Yeah. I didn't believe it early on, but now that he did this new deal this week with Kanye, he's made $170 something million. He's like I don't need money. No, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer already, and he got his title.
First ballot Hall of Famer. Hey, this is a good one because they had this conversation on I Am Athlete, and I've really been thinking about it. Is Aaron Donald in the conversation as the greatest defensive player of all time? And who would be on your Mount Rushmore for greatest defensive player of all time?
Lawrence Taylor is definitely another one that I would put there. It has to be like a terror on all ends. Bruce Smith is another one that I would put in there.
Bruce Smith, that's an interesting name.
Yeah,
no Reggie White.
Reggie White would be another I would put in that group. Would you put
Deion Sanders in that conversation?
Yes, of course you would. I know he's only a cover guy, but I would also put Rod Woodson there because he'll knock your pecker in your sock too at the same time. So I'll put Rod Woodson because for me, if you had to give me Deion or Rod, I'm taking Rod Woodson because Rod Woodson was maybe the best two-way defensive back I've ever seen. Ronnie Lott's another one that I would put in there too.
Hold on, define two-way defensive back.
What I mean is, like, he can come up and play the run and knock you out. Rod Woodson. Rod Woodson played safety and corner. Remember that.
Okay,
He started as a corner. He started as a corner and switched over to safety because he was that good. All right. Dion wasn't gonna hit anybody, bro.
Yeah, but when you say two-way, like Dion get the ball, he's odds.
Well, yeah, especially he was a returner. Yes, he was a great returner.
Yeah, I mean,
and by the way, Rod Woodson was a hell of a returner also. So you know, but all I'm saying is Rod Woodson and Ronnie Lott, they have a little thing for me that I like over Dion, is that they were great cover guys, but then they also there was no weakness in the box. If they stepped into the box, they were going to knock the shit out of you.
Where's Ray Lewis in that conversation?
Ray Lewis is there too. I have no problem with Ray. It's a very subjective conversation. It's not one where you can really lean to one guy, because strengths of different players meant different things. And so if you want to just shut out half the secondary, then go get Dion. And then he'll take out the number one receiver every single week, making it that much harder for everybody else. But if you want, Warren Sapp is another one, because he was very good as a pass rusher and did a good job against the run. I won't say very good, but he was good against the run.
Who would you take over, Aaron Donald or Warren Sapp?
Oh, Aaron Donald, every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Yes,
Lawrence
I'll take Aaron
Taylor or Aaron Donald.
Lawrence Taylor.
Okay.
With or without cocaine, don't matter to me.
Ray Lewis or Aaron Donald?
Aaron Donald, because he gets after the quarterback. So in the end, I got to give the guy that can disrupt your run game and scare the crap out of your quarterback every single time. Because I would imagine that quarterbacks that play Aaron Donald are thinking about him on every down. You know, it's like Lawrence Taylor. You just look over there and there's just snot, you know, and just coke coming out of there. You know, it's just,
unfortunately,
and there's an extra line on the field and you're like confused. Which is the 20-yard? No, that's Lawrence's line. Don't pay attention to that.
Aaron Donald or Reggie White?
Aaron Donald.
I never saw Reggie White play.
I did. I saw him play.
Yeah, I was of age, but I wasn't really paying attention. This wasn't like this wasn't like when every game is on TV. So it's like I can't sit there and say
I've never seen a defensive end lift offensive lineman. Never seen it in my life. Like all the time. Came up on him, boom, and the guy got his legs in the air. And you're like, what the hell is this? And he did it several times. Never seen that in my life. Reggie White was a freak all the way around, bro. But Aaron Donald is so much quicker. I've never seen anything like that. And so that's why I have to give Aaron Donald the edge. As much as I love Reggie, man. He is one hell of a player, dude. Holy crap. So there you go. All right. So you got your ideas now on articles.
Nah, not no articles. I was just I interested in the conversation because they were having that conversation about the greatest defense player. Like, and I never thought of Aaron Donald like that until you sit, and the numbers are there, the productivity is there,
Ed Reed, somebody put there. I have no problem putting Ed Reed there too, because it's just like Dion. As a cover safety, I've never seen a cover safety like Ed Reed. You know what I mean? Now, I'm going to take Ronnie Lott because Ronnie Lott will bring the physical ability that Ed Reed did not bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to put Ed Reed in that conversation, cerebrally, I have no problem with that because he's just at another level.
Didn't Charles Woodson play safety too? Eventually moved back to play safety?
Yes. Woodson was another freak, another hell of a player that was corner. But that was the interesting part about the Pittsburgh secondary. Rod Woodson and Carnell Lake both started as corners and ended also as safeties. That's how good those guys were, that they could play both. And Carnell Lake was also one hell of a player as a corner and as a safety. I'll take Woodson over him, but Carnell Lake is no slouch, bro. It's a hell of a player. Hell of a player. But that's how good they were. Troy Polamalu, I like to extreme, but I won't put him in those conversations with the guys I talked about. There's a lot of freewheeling and a lot of gambling at times with him, just like Junior Seau. As great as Junior Seau was, I won't put him at that level of the guys we just talked about, because there was a lot of freewheeling, a lot of gambling going on that they kind of ran out of some place too at the same time. These guys that we just talked about right now, they're at another echelon, I say. Those are the elites of the elites for me. The guys he just talked about and I talked about here. But I love Troy Polamalu, the player. Don't get me wrong. Just good. There's a couple of other guys I'll take over him. That's all I'm saying. All right. Follow him on Twitter at Omar Kelly and catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Make sure you subscribe. Oh, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you as always.
All right, Rick. All right, man.
You got it. EJD Construction. We love it. Fully insured. Communication. Brian Flores didn't communicate. Eric will communicate. 305-433-4843. And again, fully insured, liability and all. Do not hire anyone to work in your home that is not insured. They get injured in your home, they will sue you, and you can't do anything about it. All right? They are fully insured. I would not have a sponsor on here that's not fully insured, because I'm not going to do that. I always ask, if we have these kind of sponsors join our show, one of the things I ask is, are you fully insured? And let me see it. And make sure you vet everyone that you hire. If you don't hire EJD Construction, that's fine. Hire somebody else, good luck. But please make sure they're fully insured. And you better call to verify. Do not allow anybody on your property if they're not fully insured. EJD Construction is 305-433-4843. Shell Construction in-house. That's how they keep all the costs down. And the other thing is, listen, customer satisfaction. That's what it's all about. That's what you're going to get with EJD Construction. Custom home construction, not a handyman, all right? So if you want to build a second floor, an extra room, modernize the kitchen, you call EJDconstruction.com.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins Report with Omar Kelly. For additions, home remodeling, or custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and general contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
There we go. George Richards is set to join us here at the top of the hour to get a little Oki report after the season wrapped up last week. We'll get the latest from George. We'll see what he is hearing, and all the ending what's it called, the end of season interviews. We'll get his reaction on all of that. By the way, Sean, did you see Bill Zito's closing press conference? Brother, we have Adam Gase Part 2 over there, right? I'm serious. He has some intense, crazy eyes. Like, the amount of memes we can make with him is impressive. I gotta start posting some of these, In fact, you know what, Sean? I'm gonna send you a couple right now. I want you to pull up Bill Zito so we can have it ready for George, because this is actually kind of funny. Let me see. Here we go. Let me send Sean some interesting stuff. I'm gonna send you some stuff that you're okay. This is just too good. Okay. All right, Sean. Off and running. when you can start having some fun with me there on those, just you can pull it up already. Welton Rayom, by the way, if you want to get in on the Welton Rayom text line, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there, as always, on Twitter at Big O Show. And on email, Big O Radio Show at yahoo.com is another way that you can reach out to us. But seriously, I was watching Bill Zito's press conference, and that man has some intense looks. Okay? I'm talking about some serious, intense looks. Wow. That was just one of those where I looked at it and said, man, that is impressive. By the way, Welton Rayom, if you need a law firm, bankruptcy, homeowners, property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, call them 954-966-4646. Sean Taylor would have been a Hall of Famer. Yes, sir. He was definitely headed in that direction. I would agree with that 100%. No doubt. Oh, what else do I have here that I wanted to talk about on the show? Johnny Manziel's ex, Bree Tessie. Did you know that she hooked up with Nick Cannon? She's a cutie, by the way, Bree Tessie. This is now Nick Cannon's 5th baby mama. I think he has like 7 or 8 kids, or now 9 or whatever. Like, you got 5 baby mamas already, dude? You're going to, I hope you keep making that money, because you're going to end up broke. The amount of money you got to pay these women every month for child support. But hey, Bree got her ticket to ride. You get that baby, you got that ticket to ride. Nick Cannon. Has Nick Cannon ever heard of a rubber? Has he heard of a vasectomy? Isn't that what you get? Isn't it called a vasectomy when you like snip and you don't the factory's closed? I think that's what it's called, right? Like 5th baby mama. Man, I got one wife, which is my only baby mama with my only daughter, and I'm good, man. Factory's closed. I don't need to go having multiple relationships and multiple women with multiple kids. No. Being a father one time is enough and satisfying enough. I'm good. 5 baby mamas. Nick Cannon, dude. What is wrong with you? When I went to Rockville a couple of years ago, I went by Ronnie Van Zant's home in Jacksonville. It's now being sold in Jacksonville. So if one of you is a Southern rock fan like I am, and you want to own the home of Ronnie Van Zant, which, by the way, if Rockville was going to stay there in Jacksonville, now it's in Daytona, I was set to try, because it was an Airbnb. I was actually going to rent that home out, because I'm a huge Southern rock guy. I love Southern rock. I've always been a big Southern rock guy, and I love Leonard Skinner. Can't get enough of Leonard Skinner. And I was like, all right, it'd be cool to kind of stay in the same home of Ronnie and all the guys where they learned how to play and create their music. Now they're going to end up selling it. So somebody is going to end up buying Ronnie Van Zant's home. And I think it's right now for about $600,000 is what you can get Ronnie Van Zant's home for, somewhere in that area. And again, remember, it was an Airbnb. So I don't know how many times, but it says the rock legend is selling his home. There's a historical marker in the front yard that was there since 2018. It says the Van Zant's legacy memorialized in this house commemorates their prodigious contributions to the world of rock music. The home is on the market for $629,000. It comes with 8 lots, a 4-plex home, and a manufactured home. Says this house was our life. The neighborhood was our neighborhood. We all learned how to play drums in that house. We all learned how to swing on the swing set out there. That's where we learned to sing. We didn't have 700 channels like today. We didn't have anything but 4 channels. We weren't super rich. According to the records, Blue Horizon Property Solutions purchased the home in 2015 for $67,000. So now they're going to get to sell it for $600,000 at this point. It's not a super impressive home or anything like that, but hey, man, it's a historical place. So they formed in the 60s, became superstars in the 70s, and obviously we all know about the plane crash in 77. So Donnie is the lead singer now. His little brother is the lead singer of the band for now. So there you go. Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. Oh, by the way, give you a little history in rock music today. Today in 69, during their Montreal bed-in, John Lennon and Yoko Ono recorded Give Peace a Chance. Yoko. Anyway, in 2006 on this date, a few hundred lucky fans packed into New York's Avalon to witness Pearl Jam tape an episode of VH1's Storytellers. In 1976 on this date, The Who earned a spot in the Guinness Book of World Records after playing the loudest performance by a rock band. Their gig in Charlton, England, hit 120 decibels. In 1982 on this date, REM signed a 5-album deal with IRS Records, an independent label in California. In 2008 on this date, very cool band, Death Cab for Cutie, had the #1 album in the country with their 6th record, Narrow Stairs. There you go. So that's what happened today in music history. By the way, a lot of you have been hit by COVID. I me and my wife still talk about it. I think it was like last year in late January, February, we kind of felt something in the home, or maybe it was the January, February before that. I think it was the January, February, right when COVID started. And we had something go through the home. My daughter, me, I had it. We kind of feel like that was our COVID hit. And who's not to say we can't get it again, which maybe we have, I don't know. But it's Russian roulette. Okay? You could be vaccinated and boosted, still get it. Maybe it won't do as much damage. And if you're not vaccinated, you put yourself at a real risk. But if it hits you, you just don't know what's going to happen. A lot of people, not much. Go through a couple days of discomfort and then you're done. Dave Navarro from Jane's Addiction, listen to this. All right. Not only did they pull out of the Rockville performance, Perry Farrell citing guitarist Dave Navarro's long bout with COVID as the reason why. In a new Instagram post, the guitarist has elaborated about his bout with COVID, revealing that he's been ailing since December. Scientists continue to study COVID, and in many cases were deemed long-haul COVID, where lingering effects have continued well beyond initial infection, and not every person who contacts COVID suffers from long-term effects. According to the CDC, some of these conditions last weeks, months, and even years. Post-COVID conditions are found in most people who had severe COVID-19 illness, but anyone who's been affected with the virus that causes COVID-19 can experience post-COVID conditions. Even people who had mild illness and no symptoms from COVID-19, those who have not been vaccinated may be at higher risk by contracting long-haul COVID. And at present, there has not been a test to develop that will determine post-COVID conditions. Navarro writes, so yeah, I'm one of those who came down with long-haul COVID. Been sick since December. Supposedly will be back to my old self in nobody knows how long.
If there are any of you who are still suffering long after your negative results, I'm just saying you're not alone. The fatigue and isolation is pretty awful, but try to spend your time with the ones you love and stay creative. That's how I'm trying to get through this thing. Also, lots of spiritual practices, meditation, and yoga have been very helpful. I'll be okay, just don't know when. That's scary shit, dude. Like a lot of you that get it. What? How scary is it, Bill? How scary is it? Yeah. What? Are you kidding me? No. You can't be serious. Look at this guy. What's wrong with him? My God. Yeah, what are you looking at? What's your problem? Huh? What's going on with you? What do you want there, jerky? Hate this guy. Huh? Can't believe it. You're that ugly. I mean, these are telling you, we've got Adam Gase part 2. Long haul COVID. Just saying. Did you know that, Sean? No, huh? I think I'm starting something in South Florida. Ah. LOL, who was that guy? That's the Panthers general manager, Bill Zito, in his season-ending press conference. And I watched it, and I was like, wow, Adam Gase is back. And I just started taking still shots of it like, this is classic. These are memes waiting to happen. What are we waiting for? You might want to send George he's like way late there. By the way, we're going out to the Vegas Summer League. And we'll be out there at least 7 through the 14th of July, right around there. We may be maybe a day later. Maybe we'll hang out a couple of days more. I'm deciding yet. But we'll say this. Morrissey is at Caesars. The Black Keys are at MGM. And Journey is at Resorts World, Las Vegas. So, I don't know, man. We may have some fun here while we're over there. Crack is one hell of a drug, says Eric Storm. He was touched by the hockey god. Reed is laughing. Oh, who would you want to have a beer with? Hendrix, Lennon, Joplin, or Cobain? Oh, Hendrix, bro. Hendrix. Yeah. Lennon would be next, and then Joplin. I feel like Kurt Cobain would be so stoned and high, and I don't even know if I can have a legit conversation with the guy. But and Hendrix might be high, but he's so cool and laid back, and he is the god. Just for me, Hendrix is the GOAT. Like he's the ultimate rock guitarist in my. Eddie's right there, but I always give Hendrix the nod because he's the pioneer of all pioneers, man. He's a guy that just took it to another level with his music and opened up the door for so many. I think Hendrix is way ahead of everybody, man. Just truly, 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 truly amazing, Jimi Hendrix. Big O, were you attacked by the Pork Neck Clan? Yes, I've been attacked for many years. They're coming after me. They're coming to take me away. Ha ha. Hee ho ho hee. There's a whole bunch of young people that thought I just made that up. Just want you to know that. The hell is that? What did he come up with? No. That comes from a song. Big O, who would win a 1v1 tournament, Jordan or Kobe? Jordan, he's still alive. I would have a beer with Stevie Ray Vaughan. That would be good.
I like Stevie Ray Vaughan. That's a good one right there. That's one of my, by the way, one of my regrets. Never saw Stevie Ray Vaughan live. How about that? Had a chance to a couple times and I screwed up. And to this day, it's one of my regrets on the rock end that I had a chance to, like I can't complain about not seeing Led Zeppelin because I didn't get the chance to see Led Zeppelin. Can't complain about not seeing the Beatles because I didn't have a chance to see the Beatles. But I had a chance to see Stevie Ray Vaughan, and for whatever reason, I didn't go. And to this day, I'm an idiot. I'm a moron. I'm a dumbass for passing up the opportunity to see that guy live. I've watched so many of his concerts on YouTube, and I think most of his catalog, if not all of it. Love Stevie Ray Vaughan. What an idiot I am for not allowing myself to enjoy that. By the way, I have not mentioned it all day, but please subscribe to our second YouTube page, Big O Radio Show Cuts. If you look for Big O Show Cuts, it'll come up. Big O Show Cuts, not clips, cuts. It'll come up. Please subscribe to it. We got to get to 1,000 on that to make it a live camera there also on that one. And it's going to give us a second camera to cover some events down the line. So we're going to need it. So, you all have been so phenomenal in helping us grow every single day and supporting our great sponsors out there. So please, if you can. Okay, gotcha. 2 minutes. George Richards will be joining us, and we'll have a little fun with George. And we'll get in on it. By the way, Sloman's is a proud sponsor of our program. We love the great people at Sloman's Home Security. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Get your Alarmo, baby. Get it. Sean has his home protected. So do I. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Right now, we're going to give you the first 40 Big O listeners a free doorbell camera, and that thing connects directly to your smartphone. And when you use our low-cost central station monitoring, you're going to get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3-arm doors, and a backup battery. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Really easy keypad to use. If a dummy like me can use it, anyone can use it. Trust me. You're going to love it. The service is amazing, and they are so helpful. And anything happens, man, you can reach out to them right away. And your mobile phone, you can keep track of everything. The cameras, you can activate and deactivate the alarms, all of that. You can manage everything through your cell phone, which is a real comfort. In fact, yesterday I got back from Top Gun, had my hands full. What did I do as I pulled in? I turned off the alarm with my phone. So when I walked in, I don't have to, put on the code. My hands are full. Just walk in. Keep going. Alarm is off. Really easy to use. 1-800-ALARM-ME and tell them that Big O sent you. They'll take care of you. Our link is also on the YouTube page. You can use that too to get your Sloman's protection. All right. Let's talk a little Okie. Yes, sir. George Richards and Florida hockey now is next.
Time for the Lockdown segment with Florida Panthers insider George Richards. This Lockdown is brought to you by A. Lenny Locksmith Services. Count on them 24 hours a day. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com. Here's FloridaHockeyNow.com insider George Richards.
There he is. It's our Lockdown segment. George, I had no idea after watching the Bill Zito press conference that he's got Adam Gase eyes.
A little bit. Not as bad. Not as bad as Adam Gase eyes, because my goodness.
Not as bad. But
yeah, because Bill never wears a hat. But
look
I mean,
look at that.
He's definitely got that intense thing, but I think I think Adam's got the.
We're going through it. We're going through a whole plethora of them here because it's just like I saw it. I was like, oh, these are memes waiting to happen. Yeah. I mean, are you kidding me?
For sure.
I mean, how have we not made a ton of memes of Bill Zito? I don't want to be on the other side of that meeting with Bill Zito ever.
Yeah,
ever.
No,
Don't go pissing him off, George.
He's a pretty intense fella.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, yeah, I don't want to cover this guy. No.
He's very, very easygoing.
Let me see you after the press conference. And no, that's it. It's over. So you got to go with depends to those press conferences. Bill Zito calls you out. That's it.
You're
Damn.
done. Yeah,
You're done.
You're done in
You're
this
done.
town.
So what did you pick up from that press conference and his reaction to some of your questions?
Well, I think there was a lot of disappointment, obviously. I mean, we spoke last Tuesday as I was driving back from Tampa. This press conference with him was the day after that, so Wednesday. So, like he was saying, the jerseys were still in the dryer. The gear was still wet. I mean, it was still very raw. And I'm sure it still is. I'm sure they're looking at their watch going, game 7 would have been Sunday night or whatever. Every time the Heat came on, they're like, geez, we should be competing with the Heat right now. Instead, we're home. What I took from it was that he knows he's got a lot of work to do. The Florida Panthers, like we talked about last week, are only $4 million under the salary cap. They've got a lot of holes to fill, not big holes per se, because the team they've got coming back is pretty good, but you've got some additions that you want to make, and probably some additions by subtraction. So we'll have to see what happens there. I think it'll be a very busy offseason in Sunrise for Bill Zito and the Panthers. And, he knows that. This team went all in. They were trying to push next year off as far as they could, and it's here. So now you have to deal with reality. Now you have to start thinking, what do we do next? And they've been thinking about it, but they didn't really want to think about it. They were hoping to go to the Stanley Cup Finals, and we'll worry about it later. But now you got to worry about it.
Yeah, and here's I can pull up with a Bill Zito meme now if you want, Sean. Like one that's like Joe Thornton. Somebody brought that up. Like he's 42 years old, bro. Like. Oh. Yeah, that was my face when somebody brought up Joe Thornton. Like, really? If we're talking about changes, Joe Thornton, 42-year-old Joe Thornton, really?
Yeah, but the question was asked because we don't know what Joe Thornton's future is, whether he's going to play another year in the NHL, retire, go to Europe. His wife is from Switzerland. They off season in Switzerland. I think it was like maybe at the before training camp. Joe, you want to come back? Here's $750,000. Right now, the Panthers don't have that kind of luxury to even think about that because they don't have those kind of contracts. Right now, with what they've got under the salary cap, you're looking at 4, maybe 5 of those bargain basement deals. So they're going to have to make some moves. They're going to have to trade some cash away. They're up against the cap. They've got $7 million in dead money. And they've got $3 million in raises to Carter Verhaeghe, $4 million in a raise to Sasha Barkov. So now all of a sudden you're looking at $7 million on top of the $6 million. It's, so they've got to figure some stuff out. And Joe Thornton is at the bottom of that list.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like, oh my God, dude, there's so many other things that I would think of doing before I'm even thinking about Joe, 42-year-old Thornton. I mean, give me a break.
They're looking at guys that can play center, play all the. But you know what, Thornton, he's their Udonis Haslem, right? I mean, that was how they looked at him. He was more valuable to them off the ice than he was on it. But the Miami Heat can do that when you've got a 13, 14-man roster or whatever, and you only play 8. Okay, all right, UD, we love you. Keep coming back. You can't do that in hockey because you've only got a 23-man roster. You've got guys going on injured reserve. It's going to be bad unless they make some trades.
So, what have you learned since that press conference? What have you been able to unearth here? Because look, the Heat and the Panther season ended with the same thing. They both need a star. They both need a star. And Barkov and Huberdeau are not big enough stars that you still need that guy. So you and I have kind of talked about this. Barkov's the guy you keep, obviously. Hubie's the guy that's a year away. Do you think that they're looking at it that way, that we need to go get that guy next to Barkov to really elevate this team? Or
I don't know.
They just need to still tweak? What have you been able to hear?
It's more tweaking because in hockey you can't get those guys, right?
Right.
Those guys aren't available. And if the Miami Heat can bring in a Bradley Beal or something, we don't
Right. It
know.
happens
But
in the NBA and it doesn't happen in the
NBA.
NHL.
It doesn't happen in the NHL. Those guys are hard to find. Sam Reinhart could have been that guy and ended up being a better third line guy than the top line. Remember when they traded for Sam Reinhart? They thought he was going to line up on that right side with Barkov, and he still may. That still may happen. One of the things they're trying to work on, they want to sign Mason Marchment. The guy's been, but this is going to be his first payday. For the first time in his life, he's going to be wanted by NHL teams, and I don't think that the Florida Panthers are going to be anywhere near in the neighborhood unless they make a big trade and they move some money. And even then, you're just keeping what you've got. You're not adding anything. But let's not forget, Mason Marchment didn't play a minute in that Tampa Bay series. He looked like he was sorely missed.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Because he had a great series before. He played well. Yeah, he played well. And by the way, watching the Rangers and watching their guys sacrifice and block pucks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They got down and dirty, and that's why they're in the Eastern Conference. And I'm just looking at that going, damn, dude. If the Panthers did a little bit more of that that might have helped out a little bit in that series.
It very well could have, yes.
I mean, it just
woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Yeah. All right, so explain to all of us who are not hockey experts like you on the cap, because we have hard caps, we have luxury taxes. We have all kinds of different types of caps.
Yeah.
Explain the NHL cap.
The hockey cap is a hard cap. It's 80. This year is 82.5 million. I believe it'll go up $1 million to 83.5. And the numbers that we're looking at might be going off this year's cap instead of next. I don't know. So maybe they've got 5 million. Regardless, it ain't much. The only way that you can circumvent the cap is what we saw when a guy goes on long-term injury reserve. Then their money comes off the cap. This year it was Marcus Nudavara, who had hip surgery. He only played in one game. He was making $2.5–3 million a year. That came off the salary cap. When Aaron Ekblad got hurt, that came off the salary cap. The trade-off is you're losing that player, because until when they come back, guess what? So does their money. So the Florida Panthers are paying off Keith Yandel. They've got goalie Scott Darling that they used. They bought him out when they traded for him in order to sign Bobrovsky a couple years ago. So they've got dead money under the cap, but there's no luxury taxes. There's no soft cap. There's no middle ground. It is what it is. Everybody's got the same amount of money to spend. It just depends on where you're getting dead money from. Now, that's something Florida could do. They could trade for a player who is on somebody else's dead cap. I haven't looked into this yet, but it's happened before. You bring in a guy for the sole reason that they're on long-term injury reserve, and then you can use that cap money. So that could be something that Florida's looking into, but those guys are costly because every team knows those are the guys you usually dump on, Arizona, because Arizona needs to get to the cap floor. They'll keep using that dead money as salary cap space.
That's the NBA. That's the equivalent to the NBA expiring deal that's got 1 year left, and you're just trading for the cap space. So you suck it up for 1 year, and then the following year you get the cap space.
And most of those guys have been hurt for a long time.
Or bad or whatever.
The real money is being paid by insurance, but you're getting the cap space. So, we'll have to see what the Panthers are able.
And so you say there's no disgruntled star out there. You say there's no Pat Riley move to make for Bill Zito out there, unfortunately.
No, not for the money. Not for the money. What? And it depends what you call a star. If Jenny Malkin from the Pittsburgh Penguins, he would love to play for the Panthers, but he's old, and who knows? Yeah. So it just depends what you define as a star. And hockey's such a team game. Again, NBA, you're playing 8 guys in an entire game. In hockey, you're dressing 20 and you're playing 19. Everybody's playing. Everybody's on the ice together. It's a different world. So you've got to do a lot of mixing and mashing. So we'll see what's out there. Who knows? I mean, Bill Zito's been able to pull some stuff off before. We never thought he was going to be able to unload Mike Matheson. We never thought that Florida was going to get rid of that contract, and he did. And he ended up bringing in a pretty good player in Patrick Hornquist. Now is the last year Patrick Hornquist contract, $5.3 million. That's one you probably look to move, because what's he giving you? 10 goals a year. We love his attitude. Everybody loves Hornquist. No doubt about it. But for $5.3 million on a team with no salary cap space, it's definitely a luxury.
All right, so we'll close it with this, and make sure you subscribe to Florida Hockey Now, you slackers out there. Come on, support George and keep up with the Panthers. He writes about 87 stories a day anyways. So give me the one young guy that, if there's a guy that right now he's pretty decent, or he's good, or he hasn't really shown you anything, but the potential is there to be a star. Do the Panthers have that young guy in the mix right now? And if they do, in your eyes, who could it be?
We haven't seen it from him yet, but he's got the skill to be a very good player, a player you'll love to watch, and that's Grigory Denisenko, Florida Panther first-round pick a couple years ago. I was in Columbus, so 2018. He spent this entire year in Charlotte, got some good playing time playing in the AHL. I believe Denisenko will be with the Panthers this year unless they trade him. That was the other thing. The Panthers went all in at the deadline, but they kept all their prospects. So they kept all their, except for Owen Tippett, they kept all their young guys. I think Denisenko has the skill level to be an exceptional NHL player. We'll see if it translates. You've got Logan Hutsko, a kid from Boston College that seems to be a gamer. He might be one of those guys. He might be your Mason Marchment, the guy that nobody knows about that comes up and really, really shows off for you. So the Panthers have some young players. Saron Noel, 6'7" kid. I mean, it hits you like a hammer. Very good player. So, the Panthers have some young kids that we're going to see next year. I just don't know which ones. Alexei Hepanoemi, who people know that follow the Panthers. So, but I think but for your definition, who could explode out of nowhere? Denisenko.
All right, I like that. And I like for all of you to subscribe like I do to Florida Hockey Now. Catch George Richards once a week here with our lockdown segment, A. Lenny Locksmith. You get locked out of your home, locked out of your car, anywhere in South Florida, Dade, Broward, or Palm Beach counties, you call A. Lenny Locksmith. Our friends in Orlando and in Tampa, we also take care of you there at alennylocksmith.com, even in Phoenix, Arizona. And we have a few more locations coming. I was talking to Lenny. They are expanding in other areas in the country. So A. Lenny Locksmith is growing. Go to alennylocksmith.com. They even program your car keys. So not only if you need a new car key or new home key, but some of these car keys need to be programmed, they can do that too for you. A. Lenny Locksmith, 24-hour locksmith. George, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you and the insight. Thank you, my man. We will catch up next week, my friend.
All right, Orlando. Thanks, bud. We'll see you.
Yes, sir. There you go. The great George Richards.
This has been the Florida Panthers Lockdown segment, brought to you by A. Lenny Locksmith Services. Count on them 24 hours a day. Call 855-869-5625 or go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
By the way, I got to say, I know that Dolphin fans, it's kind of like we're all waiting for that season. We're all waiting for the franchise to turn it around and figure things out. And it hasn't been terrible the last 2 years, winning 9 and 10 games. Okay. Now they've done a lot of that over the years. And so that's not good enough for people. They want you to get to the playoffs and start giving them, something entertaining and hope to win a Super Bowl again. It's something we haven't had. And hopefully that's going to start coming now. We hope. But I will say this, I find it hilarious to watch the, half of Dolphin Nation just kind of set themselves up for a bad season, because all they want to argue about is what they think the team can't do or what Tua can't do, right? And then you've got obviously the other half that is excited about the season and sees Tyreek Hill and sees the moves on the offensive line and, adding everything that they added on offense, from a fullback to adding Cedric, everything. And you get excited about the offense. And a lot of us that are Tua believers, we were never disbelievers of Tua. We didn't believe in the FUD like some of you that panic with crypto every second and a movement from one day to another or a week to another, that you worry about it when it's a long-term type of thing in that sense. And in this one, those of us that have believed in him, we've always said he doesn't have what he needs around him for a quarterback to win. So now that he does, we're excited, right? But it's just two schools, and they're both going at each other. And here's what I would say to all of you that are just wasting your time discussing something that isn't happening right now, and that's football. So you can't make either case until the team actually takes the field. So what are you going to argue for months? Why are you continuing to find stats when stats can be spun however you want to spin them, negatively or positively? Ladies and gentlemen, just enjoy the offseason. The Dolphins had a hell of an offseason. They addressed most of their issues. Now, let's see if this new coaching staff can put together what we've all been waiting for. And then the discord can start. Then we have something to discuss. Then maybe we have something to celebrate. Maybe we have something to argue about. Maybe we have something to choose sides on. But right now, whether you believe in the Dolphins or not, whether you believe in Tua or not, whether you like the moves or you don't, we're all Dolphin fans. So in the end, we should all want the same thing, is for them to succeed. And that's how we should feel right now. Let's wait till they give us a reason that they're not going to succeed before we start to complain. I gave Adam Gase a chance until I couldn't give him a chance anymore. I gave Brian Flores a chance until I couldn't give him a chance anymore. But let's give them a chance at least. Let's see if they can actually do it. Then we can discuss the successes or the shortcomings. But it's just a big ass waste of time for most of you out there to be arguing and be so passionate about nothing going on. There are no stats in 2022 season to back up what you're saying in April, May, June, July, or August. Can we wait till September and October to start actually talking about what kind of impact McDaniel's making? How much better is the run game? Is the run defense better? Is Tua better? Is Tyreek Hill and Said and Waddle on the same page with Tua? Is Gesicki, coming in and molding into this offense? We will be able to ask all of these questions. Did Michael Dieter improve? Is he a starting legitimate center? Are the right guards and right tackles doing their jobs? How is Alec Ingold fitting into what they want to do? We will find out about all of this. But arguing about it now, when nothing has happened and there's nothing to back up either argument, positive or negative, just wait. Sit back, enjoy your off season, enjoy your time off, enjoy your job, enjoy your family. Dolphin season will be here, and then we'll get to talk about it. But none of you are making any progress going back and forth, throwing silly stats and silly arguments that can't be backed up by anything right now. Chill out, man. Relax. Enjoy the season. All right. What else do we have here to talk about on the program that I wanted to mention? That's it. I think we kind of covered everything here on the show, pretty much. We got to thank Cameron Wolf, Manny Navarro, Omar Kelly, George Richards. Thank them as always. We got to thank Sean Stanley, the man, the myth, the legend, powering and mastering this show every single day. Most of all, we got to thank all of you for tuning in. Appreciate you all. Remember, please subscribe to our second YouTube channel. We will have different videos on there you won't catch here, different rants, live programming coming to it, but you got to help us get there with 1,000 views, with 1,000 subs. So we need to move, baby. So Big O Show cuts, not clips, cuts. Big O Show cuts. Search for it on YouTube. Please subscribe. Help us get to 1,000, and then we'll build it from there. But help us get to 1,000. And of course, if you haven't subscribed here to the mothership, please subscribe also to the mothership. Appreciate all of you out there. We will see you tomorrow, 8:45, same place, same bat channel. Have a good one.